This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to another trip into the mind of the Meanie, your weekly trip into the world according to former WWE and ECW wrestler, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the mind of the Meanie. I'm Josh Shernoff, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude? Let me tell you about this fucking guy named Devin. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Let me tell you about this guy named Devin. No, I'm just kidding. Little off-air antics with our Patreon folks, which you can enjoy over at patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. I said that right?
Yeah, patreon.com/mindofthemeanie. That's where you can join, and more people. We've had more and more people joining this week, which we really appreciate. Always.
It's so cool. It's so cool. And like I said, everything that happens on Patreon goes right back into the cost of the show with hosting and all that stuff.
Yeah, for us to have the ability to do things like screw up muting and unmuting. Apparently, when we started recording on our Rodecaster Pro by Rode, when we started doing that, it then muted us. So Devin, hey Devin. So Devin was he let us know, and Mad Dog 56131 also let us know that we were muted. But thankfully, I was able to unmute us before things got out of control. Guys, can you hear us now? Wow. Everybody listening right now can hear us. So hopefully our live Patreon members can hear us as well. Man, just a lot to get into right off the bat. This is our second show to air post alternative commentary, but our first one that we've recorded post alternative commentary. Man, what was the feedback that you heard on that? We did alternative commentary for SummerSlam live on Fight TV. It's still there. You can go watch it now. It'll be there forever. What did you think, Meanie? What was your experience like, and what was the feedback?
Dude, I had a blast. Like I said, since we started doing these Patreon video we record the podcast live, and our Patreon subscribers get to watch us record it. Mm-hmm. I've been getting that feeling that like I haven't had for a while, where I know I'm live, so I know I have to be on. So like if I fuck up, I mean you can fix it in post, but the Patreon people, they saw it.
They'll know.
They'll know. And then I'll just punch myself in the face afterwards. But no, seriously. And it was the same thing with the Fight TV alternative commentary.
Yeah.
I had that feeling like we're live. This is going to be a lot of fun, and it was so weird. Where we mentally we were prepared, and what's that term? Pacing ourselves for a 4-hour show. Then it turned out to be a 3-hour show. And when the show was over, we're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, we're like, well, I guess. Yeah, we were really expecting the fourth hour was going to be, you had taken your edibles and everything. You were ready to go. And
people missed the party. And once we went off the air, that's when the real fun began.
Yeah. You know what was great, though? We get off the air, and I'm like, oh, it's an hour early. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I'll go to sleep. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I didn't edit the podcast from last week. And it's going up in 7 hours, so maybe I should go do that.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah.
I got a lot of good feedback on it. I went and watched back some of it. Like, pretty much when we stopped recording, I put it on and watched some of it. Mostly because, God bless Mrs. Meanie. She spends a lot of her time on the one end of a my end of a conversation where she just hears what I'm saying. She doesn't hear what the other people are saying.
She's not missing much from what I'm saying.
So I was watching it, and and she's like, oh, and she was like getting into like both ends of the conversation.
So like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Well, hey, shout out to Mrs. Meanie. It wasn't a Mrs. Meanie run-in, but it was a Mrs. Meanie bonus juggling demo.
Yeah, man.
Which I know we're not pushing it as a Mrs. Meanie run-in, but it's just as entertaining as any of those, if not even more so. I thought it was so cool. Mrs. Meanie kind of takes you through her juggling experience, and some nice at the end there, gives some nice words of encouragement to everybody. So definitely check that out at youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. Mrs. Meanie juggling demo. I'm
really very proud
cool.
of her.
Oh man, yeah. I'm super impressed by that.
It's like you hear all these stories of people trying new things in the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me do that thing I've always wanted to do. And since this whole thing started, we've started a podcast.
Yeah.
She's, not intentionally ran in, but she started doing the run-ins, and then she became like a featured part of our shows where people are like, man, this show's bullshit. There wasn't a Mrs. Meanie run-in. My friend Donnie texted me, look, dude, I'm 2 hours and 12 minutes into this episode. This is bullshit. Not one Mrs. Meanie run-in. And then when she did the run-in last week, he was like, there she is. He's giving me text play-by-play.
That's awesome.
But and then the Mrs. Meanie run-in on the show morphed into this whole content for our YouTube page.
Yeah,
which was awesome. And it became a way for her to express herself. People get to see the person I fell in love with 15 years ago. She's very creative. She's very fun. She's one of the funniest people I know, even though she downplays it. And she's one of the most creative people I know, even though she fucking downplays it. And then, like I said, we started taking advantage of our yard and stuff like that, since can't really go out and do anything, but going in the yard allows us to take in some sort of normalcy with our masks off, taking some fresh air, stare at the fucking sky, grill some food. And then she was like, man, I really want to learn how to juggle. And I was like, cool. So she ordered she's going through like maybe 4 sets of juggling balls. And it's just a matter of finding the right ones. And I think
isn't that just the story of life?
Yeah, yeah. It's just
trying to find the right set of balls.
Yeah.
But no, on all seriousness, though, it's amazing.
And living with me for 15 years, she can't. Whatever. But
no set she orders offline is going to be as big, as robust. Yes.
Hey, you want to juggle some boulders?
Oh, Jesus.
But now she's like, and she's gotten better since she recorded that. Like, she recorded that like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And again, in Apocalypse, she figured out how to record herself, edit her stuff, make opening credits, write her own opening and closing theme song.
Which has now been covered.
Yeah, which has been covered.
By
thank
Pot
you, Jeffrey
Squad
Mitchell.
elite member Jeffrey Mitchell.
Dude, he is like our Tony Robbins. He's like the most positive person in the world.
He has created what we like to think that we've created like a community here. He has like created a family out of this. Like he is so engaging with other Pod Squad members on social media. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, look, I appreciate every single part of our Pod Squad. Is awesome. From Chef Mike making the meanie burgers, to rocking our shirts everywhere, to doing weekly recaps on Twitter, and then we got Jeffrey Mitchell covering songs and just.
And if I can say Andy Slichter, who just sent a message in, I will not put Meanie's balls on a shirt.
Please don't.
Yeah, that's what you think, Andy. We'll talk after.
You have to get some extra silkworms to make a shirt for that fucking thing.
Geez.
Just go to Omar the Tent Maker and make that fucking shirt.
Hey, shout out to Pro Wrestling Gifts, who's made some awesome stuff. He is watching live for the first time this week.
Great folks, man. Great dude.
Yeah,
he's always sending me funny DMs, podcast related and stuff like that.
No, just we've got a great community on here. We've talked about in the beginning. We talked about Devin. We got Mad Dog. We got so many people. Glitter Fist. How about our favorite people across the pond who are the
Shoals.
Yeah, they just like to lay in bed and listen to Mind of the Meanie, buying up our merch like it's going out of style, which is funny because I don't think it was ever in style. No,
Mrs. Shoals
we are
Mrs. Shoals rocking the Pod Squad tank top.
Yeah,
Pride,
which is like which Adam got her as a present, a surprise, which is just so cool. We really appreciate all of you. Patreon or no Patreon, we appreciate everybody who's listening. I feel like every week we're saying that, but every week I feel like we just are more and more appreciative because we're just getting bigger reactions on social media. We're getting every single week. I mean, we're nearing the end of August. This is the last episode of the month of August, and prior to this episode airing, we already have set a new record for how many downloads in a month, how many downloads in a week in the first day. So we're growing and growing here, and we're so excited about it. Part of us growing is expanding out in our merchandise. So we've got these new pins, which we've been sitting on for a while, but that would have been painful.
Yes.
But these new pins through Pro Wrestling Tees, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie, and you can get the Hal Haney logo pin, which you see right over Meanie's shoulder there, the Mind of the Meanie logo pin. And then, of course, we also have Meanie Toons. Nice little Meanie Toons logo there as well. So
I love it.
Our plan, and there are not many left. I think we might be dealing somewhere in as we record this, we might have 20-something left. Go now and order them when you're listening to this. Hopefully they're still in stock for you. I guess not for us. Hopefully they're out of stock. But no, we were blown away by how quickly people jumped on this. Pins are in, man. I've never really gotten it, but they're cool. I was like, why are people into pins? And then Dave Hancock.
I was just about to bring him up. Yeah, he's got a whole corkboard.
Fat ass masa pin, and some other stuff at one point, and I was just I'm staring at this pin, going why am I so excited about this pin? Why? I'm feeling the excitement everyone feels over these pins, but I still can't figure out why. But I'm really digging this. They're so cool, and the new Mind of the Meanie pins. I'm excited. The next So Says Shernoff for September, I will be wearing one of those pins on my lapel, on my suit. And I think it's pretty safe to say I'll probably be wearing one on my suit on every show that I'm doing from now on. And we want to do more and more as well. And we want to do some Patreon exclusives. So buy these up, and we're going to do more. And if you're a completist, when they're gone, they're gone. So don't wait on this. Don't sleep on this. You want to get these pins now, because 4 pins down the line, you don't want to be kicking yourself going, oh man, I should have just dropped that $10 and picked up this pin. Now I'd have the full collection. Right. So, and I say that as somebody who has many times gone, I should get that. The retro, Mattel retro figures. When they first came out, I was like, I collect Hasbros. I should get these. And it was about 2 years later that I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to do it. And then you go on, you're like, oh, Macho Man Randy Savage is going for $400. That guy's never going to be in my collection. So what I'm saying is do it now. Anyway.
Do it. Do it.
James Sorensen, round 4. Good to see you here. But everybody, just thanks for joining us. Meanie.
What I meant to say, before, and I had a brain fart.
Before I stepped all over your toes. Your feet are bleeding.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. It's cool. I've been hit by worse. It's just I know people are listening for free, and we're it seems like we're, sucking, patronizing our Patreons, sucking up and but when we first started this podcast, there was so much unknown. Like, we recorded our first episode, and it's like, okay, here you go, world. Here it is. Hopefully somebody listens.
This is between the greatest podcast ever recorded and the worst podcast ever recorded. It's somewhere in the middle there. So, you know.
Go, fly, young podcasts. Someone will find you. And here was this episode 23, and now it's like we were trying to look for feedback online, but now we're getting like instant feedback. Between people, tweeting and the live chat and Patreon and stuff like that, and the Ask Meanie Anythings. It's a really cool feeling. It's a special feeling. Because, like I said, there's so much content out there. A little inside Meanie baseball here. I had a podcast app for my Roku, and that's how I did most of my podcasting. It's like Roku has channels, and then they have like hidden channels where you have to seek them out, but you could put them on there. Yeah. So I would come home. I would come, in the house, or before the apocalypse, when I would go out and come in, we would just sit there and, hey, what do you want to listen to? We listen to Bruce or whoever. And that's how I did my podcasting. What I'm trying to get to say is the app shit the bed. So
really?
The app I was, doing my podcasting on died. So I was like, fuck, how can I listen to more podcasting? I'm technology stupid. So somebody's like, go on Spotify. I was like, fuck, Roku has a Spotify app. So I joined up. I just typed in the word wrestling, and 8 million wrestling podcasts came down. I was like, man, we're out there amongst a lot of podcasts. So here we are now, and we got people talking to us live and giving us feedback and buying merchandise and supporting the show, not only through downloads and likes and all that, and subscriptions and buying the merch. Like I said, it's just like this. I kind of faded off there, but what I wanted to say, it's just so cool because there's 8 million different podcasts out there, and we have this little community to ourselves, and it's got the core, and it's growing outwards, and that's so.
And that's
awesome.
why when we talk about and somebody, James Sorensen, can we get a Blue Meanie baseball? We can definitely do a Blue Meanie inside baseball shirt. But Andy,
it's something to look into, though.
He's like, God, for God's sake, I just wanted to enjoy the show. Stop putting me to work. But
God
no,
damn it.
Shout out to Andy as well. I mentioned earlier, but man, he has been knocking it out of the park. Logo after logo, and then I'll take advantage and I'll text him and be like, hey, do you think what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And he just he takes my little kernel of an idea and just expands upon it and just makes something so much better than I could have imagined. I used to just kind of be I'd give him some directions, what if it looks like this or looks like that? I don't even do that anymore because I don't want to stifle whatever creativity he's going to come up with. But another thing was alternative commentary. We got preliminary numbers from Fight TV, blown away by the amount of people who said, you know what I want to do on a Sunday night while watching SummerSlam? Listen to these two go on and on.
These two fucking yammering fucking windbags.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Just, and yeah, I mean, we like I said, they're just the preliminary numbers, which makes me go, ooh, how many more people could possibly want to watch this? But if you're one of those people who wants to watch alternative commentary, September 5th, we will be back live on Fight TV at 8 p.m. for AEW All Out. Really excited about that one.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have missed AEW. I was at every single AEW pay-per-view that had ever happened up until the most recent, whatever it's called, Double or Nothing. Where I had to do reporting from home, and it was sad and depressing. And I FaceTimed with Austin Gunn just so I felt like I was somewhat connected there. And now we get to do this. where I don't feel like I'm missing out as much as I would love to be there. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I feel like, Meanie and I get to be a part of this in such a fun way, and really excited about that. And for anybody who did watch alternative commentary last time, there's obviously that delay. We're watching the pay-per-view just like you're watching the pay-per-view, which is on like a 10-second, 15-second delay from the actual show. For AEW, word on the street is that Meanie and I are going to be given access to the actual feed that's coming straight from the truck. So we will hopefully be able to be.
How ridiculous is that?
Yeah, we will hopefully. So we will see that. And then with the delay that Fight TV puts out for you to watch us, hopefully that will kind of all marry together, and you'll be hearing us and watch us. We'll be able to do a little bit more play-by-play. But as somebody pointed out, who wants alternative commentary when you have Jim fucking Ross, is what somebody posted on social media.
Right.
And we made it very clear, we are not an alternative commentating team. It's an alternative commentary on what we're watching. So again, think of it as if you're sitting in your living room, or you're sitting at the bar and Meanie and I just happen to be with you. You can watch their commentary. You can do whatever. We're just having conversations. And we explained that, and Jim Ross gave it the thumbs up. He gave his seal of approval on you listening to us. I am never in a million years going to try to one up Jim Ross or Tony Schiavone or Excalibur, anybody on that team. So,
right.
But yeah, I feel like I've just said a whole lot, Meanie.
No, it's going to be fun. With the alternative commentary, it's good we're not being limited to one product, where just WWE. And, because there's the alternative out there. And with AEW's great promotion. And they're still finding their way, still finding their formula. But, they guys have so many talented people there. Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, just call that action and, maybe call a match I potentially came up with on Twitter. But,
yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. So... Not only did the Blue Meanie create Thunderdome, and pitch that to AEW.
I pitched it to AEW. Here's the story of that. I'm like, I try to watch the shows every week, and sometimes, I mean, in the beginning it was, novel, it was unique and all this stuff, and you're like, oh, this will be like 2 weeks, because we're only supposed to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. Remember that?
Good times.
Yeah, good times. Hopeful times. Now it's just like,
yeah. As you're listening to this on Monday, tomorrow is fucking September. So we're
it started in what?
Not
March?
April like it feels. No, we're done with spring and summer. Bring on fall.
So I was like, fuck. Why don't they? I mean, Zoom's the thing now, and why don't they just have a video wall of fans interacting and cheering and making noise, and put it off to the side and all that stuff. And I pitched it to I tweeted to Tony Khan. I think I even mentioned it to Jericho in private, and he was like, "Oh, great idea." So I was like, "Fuck it, I'll still tweet about it." So I tweeted to Tony, AEW, all that good stuff. Hey, let's get a video wall up there. Fans can win a lottery. They can, watch the show live as it airs, and they can just interact and be loud. There'll be noise and stuff. Having that, old WCW Saturday Night Canned fan reaction that they used to have when they, would sweeten the crowd noise and stuff like that. We'll have actual fans. For the most part, man, I just hit a fucking skip button there. For the most part, remix. For the most part, it was, a lot of people are like, oh, that's a great idea. And there's a couple of people are like, what if somebody whips out their dick? And I was like, hey, man, leave your fantasies to yourself, dude.
Yes.
But no, seriously. And then 2 months later, WWE Thunderdome. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Where nobody's whipping out their dick yet, but they are putting on pictures of the KKK, Chris Benoit, And I guess, and then people are like, oh my God, they had the KKK, they had Chris Benoit, they had Elmo. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, they're like Super Mario was on there, Pikachu. And we're like, all right, I feel like some of these characters are getting grouped into a category that they don't need to be a part of. Like those sons of bitches putting Super Mario and the KKK. When's it gonna end?
But I pop for the La Greca heads that popped up.
First of all, here's the thing though: the La Greca heads, I don't see that as a bad thing at all.
No,
I wish more signs would be popping up because that's the crowd. And the funny thing, my brother Fredward, as he's affectionately known, the creator of Meanie Toons, who may or may
he doesn't
not
know
be.
this, but we're legally changing his name to Fredward.
Yeah, we really
Go
are.
ahead.
Which the best part is that came from a different person named Fredward. And then we just were like, we'll just call my brother Fredward instead. Why not? And now it's there. But he had pointed out, I'd rather see twice as many screens, half the size. And I agree. But I'm going to go one further and possibly say 4 times as many screens, a quarter of the size. These screens are enormous. And it's a little bit like, it's a little distracting to me because this isn't the size of an audience head, an audience member's head that you're used to, right? Like it really should be like a quarter of the size. So, but the La Greca head is perfect. I mean, it's always popping up in the crowd. Waiting for that meanie head.
That's a natural thing, huh?
Waiting for that meanie head.
Hey,
and here's the best part.
Waiting for that meanie head.
That's
but.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does everybody want? So,
going off the rails on my meanie.
So you can actually easily do that now because apparently people are just sharing their screen, which was like the Fire Velveteen Dream sign that popped up, and people weren't thrilled about that. But the reality is that's something.
Did you see who showed up on SmackDown?
Kenny
night?
Omega.
Yeah, Kenny Omega fucking got it on.
And honestly, I think this is incredible. Like this is. But if you keep it, so here's the thing: Kenny Omega, that's hilarious to me. That's
awesome.
Great. Chris Benoit, absolute poor taste.
Right.
Not cool. Not funny. Wrestling fans think they're funny doing stuff like that. Real person, real lives.
It's like kind of like when you tell a joke and it's like slightly blue, and then you have that one friend who takes it way too fucking far, and you're like, oh.
Like, come on, man.
Dial it in, pal.
Yeah. So I mean, but I think things like I thought things like Super Mario and Pikachu and things like that. That's hilarious to me. That's people taking advantage of the opportunity, but having fun with it. The same way you hold up your signs because you want people at home to read them and see them, and it puts the attention on you for a second. I think it's funny. I think having Kenny Omega's face on there, I think is funny.
I think it was actually Kenny Omega.
I don't know if it actually was or not. If it was actually Kenny Omega, that is tremendous.
I just saw a quote from Kenny Omega saying, "I was just trying to have some fun" or something like that.
I mean,
didn't read the article.
He may have been joking. I don't know.
But I think it would have been great,
dude. It's like an invasion.
One time, Paul Heyman was going to have me go down to the Today Show in full meanie gear and hold up a sign while what's his face did the fucking weather or whatever
behind that window.
Yeah, no. Well, this was like summer and they were outdoors, and they had the guardrail there, and we were doing shows in Florida, and Paul was like, what if I put you up in a hotel in New York and you just went down to, 30, wherever the fuck is, 30 Rock or whatever, and just hold up signs for ECW? I was like, I'll fucking do it. It never came to be, but I'll fucking put me up for a night in New York, and all I have to do is get up. And when they go to interview me, I just, promote our pay-per-view on live TV on NBC.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way because I think Mind of the Meanie is going to be sending you to...
Yeah. Once the world opens back up, I'll be at Rockefeller Plaza in my Daisy Dukes and Hampshire. Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say one thing without saying anything because there's nothing more obnoxious than that. Meanie and I, we are in the process of doing something so cool that I have to talk about it, but can't talk about it, but we'll probably be able to talk about it in about 8 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. We're getting
just want to I just want to throw it out there to everybody so you can start, because we always have this like exciting stuff. We're like, oh, there's more stuff. We can't talk about it. Oh, it's Meanie Toons. And then it's like all there. Oh, something cool. Can't talk about it. Oh, it's alternative commentary. We got something so cool. Maybe the coolest thing I've ever been able to be a part of. I'm so excited for it. And we'll talk about it in 8 weeks. Anyway, I just want to throw that out there.
No, seriously, put some money in the sock drawer. Just, put a couple bucks away.
Yeah. Start saving.
It'll be something really cool for Christmas.
Yes.
Without giving anything away.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be really cool for Hanukkah, too.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
We're a multicultural podcast here.
I celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah in my household. I'm Jewish, grew up in a 100% Jewish family, never celebrated Christmas, so I married my ass into it, is what I did.
So like Van Halen says, you got the best of both worlds, my friend.
I actually really do. My kids really do, and they have no idea. And my daughter really does, because she gets Hanukkah and then Christmas like a couple weeks later, and then her birthday a couple weeks after that. And
it's like a hat trick.
Yeah. Oh, she has no idea. But then she gets like 11 months of like of not getting all these presents and stuff. At least like other people can kind of have it more spread out, where it's like every 6 months there's something. It's a birthday, it's a holiday, it's who am I kidding? I just buy her stuff anyway. I am such a pushover, but hey, what can you do?
Well, you're good. You're a good dad. You're a good dad. I see the interactions. That one time I socially distanced on your lawn.
Yes, which she still talks about. Wants you to come back. My son wants you to come back. Thank God he was too young to understand that you were here, and he napped through it. He would be so angry. He has the little micro brawler, the Blue Meanie micro brawler in his bed. That's awesome. It's in there. I mean, I don't want to give you too big of a head. He's got many other figures in there too, but the Blue Meanie is one of the ones. Every morning he has to put them in a bag and bring some toys downstairs, and then he brings them back up and puts them in his bed. These are like his He-Man toys, and he's got some dinosaurs, sometimes Buzz Lightyear, things like that. And that Blue Meanie micro brawler always has to be taken out of the bed to come downstairs to play and then go back up. So
I had He-Man. He-Man was in my action figure wrestling league.
Yeah, was he? I mean, he was basically like a AWA Remco body type.
I had the He-Man, and I might have had Hercules, and then I had Thunderlips from the Rocky action figures, and then I had the Mr. T A-Team thing, so I had that tag team going. And then I had my action figure wrestling league, kind of like what Cardona and Myers are doing right now, but with the Velcro belts and stuff like that. So.
It's so cool. Like I had, I remember, I don't even know what the character's name was, but because I never saw the movie. Remember the movie The Shadow? There was an old show, The Shadow. Yeah. And then there was like the movie came out.
The Shadow knows.
Yeah. Well, so I don't even know because I didn't see it, but there was this one guy, had like super long hair, and they made an action figure of him, but they made multiple action figures in different outfits. So I got them and they became a tag team. That was it.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I had, oh man, who was it? From Bill and Ted, I had the tag team of Keanu Reeves' character and Genghis Khan, and I put them together and I called them the Wild Stallions because he had this, the Wild Stallions t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. I don't know anyone who played with wrestling figures and didn't bring somebody in, didn't have that big signing to bring somebody into the promotion.
Well, I had my G.I. Joe wrestling league too as well. So like all like Snake Eyes and all that, they were like the luchadors of my promotion and stuff like that. The Ninja and all that stuff. And like I said before, I would like get a screwdriver and take them apart, and then just like refigure their
Make your own people,
outfits and stuff like that. So
I found
so much fun. I mean, let me fix my camera there. That kids don't. Yeah, it's like George Carlin says. Do kids just go out and look out the fucking window anymore? All the stuff we got to do as kids, and let our imaginations run wild. Eventually, I believe helped me with my my wrestling career.
Oh, I'm sure, because of the creativity.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like we all, and when you look at it, sometimes you wonder why there are so many, armchair quarterbacks out there for wrestling.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it's like I look at my entire childhood. I was booking a whole territory. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so of course,
and you got the belt over your shoulder to.
Right. But that was the thing. Like to me, it's like my favorite thing to do, because I very rarely copied what was on television. I just made up my own stuff, my own stories, and it was it's so that's why everybody now just kind of. I feel like we're all just like, hey, we can do this, whether we can or not.
And that's a good point you brought up. There's a lot of armchair bookers and or armchair quarterbacks. It's like there's this is their outlet. When we were kids, we had the action figures and all that stuff, or the magazines. I would read an After magazine or a Napolitano magazine. My imagination would run wild just off the articles because they were talking about promotions I couldn't watch at the time.
And Bill was making that shit up. So,
and Bill Apter is the George Napolitano of ring photographers. So it's a little callback.
Oh man. Hey, a couple of things that popped through here. James Sorensen, we'll drag that on here. Asks, is Punching Daylight a shirt yet? And can we make it a long sleeve and hoodie? And alternative commentary was truly the effing best thing about Sunday night. We appreciate that, James. So Punching Daylight is a shirt on Patreon. You can get it either on our Patreon exclusive merchandise page. You can either get it as on like a coffee bag, like a bag of coffee grounds, or you can just get the Punching Daylight logo itself. It is not long sleeve or a hoodie, but odds are by tomorrow it will be. That's
the beauty. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, it's amazing. And thank you about alternative commentary. And then we also had another comment came in here from our good friend Travis. Travis, always great to have you here. Travis says, I can always go back and listen to JR. There's only one chance to be live with Josh and Blue Meanie. Can't wait for All Out. We appreciate that.
Going to make me blush.
Yeah, but no, very, very much appreciate that. So what?
Speaking of shirts and stuff like that, Mrs. Meanie's juggling video. You made the thumbnail for the video, so I try to post on all forms of social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook,
and Instagram doesn't make it easy for anyone because you can't put a link. So it's what you do on Instagram.
So what I do with that is I post the thumbnail that you made, post what I posted on every other form of social media, talking about how much I'm proud of her and love her. And I just put, youtube.com/mindofthemeanie.
Yeah.
And in the thumbnail, she's wearing a pro wrestling t-shirt. And in the comments, Ryan was like, oh, shit, that's my shirt. Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees. He's nice. Like, I was like, it's like the coolest interaction, He's just like scrolling. Oh, shit, there's my shirt. So, I don't know what that story's related to, but I just thought it was kind of cool to share. And then we're like texting, and I was like, oh, man, I was just fucking looking. I said, there's my shirt. I was like, yeah, dude, that's probably what the Pro Wrestling Tees 80s logo shirt.
Yeah, really cool.
I'm such a mark for the 80s. Anything 80s, I'm there.
I'm kind of like that with a little bit with the 80s, very much with the 90s.
Which is I'm a 90s mark too.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I was born in 73, so 70s are kind of a blur, but I started like literally coming in my my wheelhouse was like 80s, 90s, as far as like watching wrestling and falling in love with bands like Van Halen
And that's like, for me, I was born in 83, only 10 years younger than you. You wouldn't know it by looking at us, and that's not a knock on you. I look like I have aged 5 years since we started this show. This show today, not even looking at myself in the thing here. No, but that's the same thing for me. So, I was born in 83. So my like memories of any form of like pop culture type stuff, first of all, are going to be very kid oriented and really don't start until like 88. You know what I mean? Like, so
I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I was in 8th grade, you were you 30?
Well, no.
Yeah. It doesn't work as well when we just tell everybody what years we were born. It doesn't.
Right.
But we're in that sweet spot right now. My birthday is next month, as in September. My birthday is September, so we're in that sweet spot where you're actually on paper 11 years older than me. Until I turned 37, and man, 37.
Oh, wait, when you hit 40, I'm gonna fucking tap dance. Start tap dance. I'm gonna dance a jig. I'm like, welcome to 40s.
Well, you know what? Why don't you dance the same jig that I will be dancing a few months earlier when you turn 50? So,
dude, I'm 47.
So don't try to rush that 40 for me, pal.
I know people who legit got depressed when they turned 30. I was like, really?
Dude, I got like depressed when I turned 20. I was like, oh my God, countdown to 30. Dude, I would take 30 again in a heartbeat if I could. It was.
I remember it was my birthday's May 18th, and when I was 12 going on 13, I was like, oh no, I'm going into my teens. It's like, I haven't done anything yet.
Can't get this childhood back.
Motherfucker, you're 12.
Oh, man.
You're fucking 12. Just enjoy it. Don't grow old.
James Sorensen, who, happy early birthday. His birthday September 3rd. September 3rd, 1997. James, get out of here. Cancel your Patreon. Get the... You young bastard.
I'd throw these headphones, but they're expensive.
1997. So basically, James, while you're a huge fan of the Blue Meanie, I'm guessing that's all through watching on the network. Because...
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird. There's a local indie wrestler, Breaker Morant. Really cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he would run these shows. They were like charity shows for the local softball league. So like the crowd was like majority like little kids. So I would do the show. So like after the show, like months after the show, I'm walking around South Philly. I'm like the Pied Piper of all these kids. I'm walking past the playground. They're like, Blue Meanie, Blue Meanie. I'm like, how do these people even know? I was like, oh, I did the softball game. And then they go and look me up on like YouTube and stuff. And like the big thing was, oh, you wrestled Matt Hardy? Yeah, I'm the guy who wrestled Matt Hardy. I'm the guy who wrestled Matt Hardy, kid. But
yeah,
no,
you know who's wrestling Matt Hardy now? Sammy Guevara, who was probably born in like 2002. So, who the hell knows?
This is fucking depressing.
Devin Miller writes in, I was born in 97 too. But thank you, Pro Wrestling Gifts, for piping in that you're the oldest one here. Much appreciated. He said that that 30 and then 40 was harder on his mom than it was on him. And I'd have to imagine that's true. Like that's,
Imagine having a baby when he's 30.
Yeah.
That's got to be painful.
My
Some lady came up to me and is like, I caught a T-shirt from a band in the crowd or whatever, and there's this chick there. She's like super annoying. She's like, can I give this for my kid? He's 30. I was like, when are you going to give fucking birth to him? Jesus Christ. She left me to fuck alone after that.
Oh, man. Hey, age is just a number that informs you of why you feel like such shit.
But seriously, I mentally I'm 13. I don't feel like I have aches and pains, but like that's like I've been in pain since I started wrestling. So,
dude, I threw my back out this morning. Legit threw my back out. I got up to get my son out of his crib.
Right.
I'm there. I'm taking him out of his little like sleep swaddle thing that he's in. and I get
say that 3 times.
You would have thought that somebody just shot me in my back, like my low back where I have my I have a herniated disc in my back, which kind of took me out of commission for a little while. And man, that sumbitch just I feel like it herniated itself again. So I was like laid out this morning, and now I'm feeling pretty good now.
Yeah,
but
that's where you just jump in the shower and let the fucking.
It's exactly what I did. Yep.
Get some heat on that motherfucker.
Yep.
That happens to me every now and then. Every now and then I'll get like a bum knee, or every now and then my hip wants to go nope, and then now I'm having like I said, it's the time of the season where like my allergies are fucking up, so sometimes one or both ears get completely clogged, so I can't hear. So I'm just like constantly trying to get pressure on them and like do like the suction cup thing and like pop them.
The same thing happens to my kids whenever I tell them to do something, just instantly.
Selective,
or I give my wife my opinion.
Yeah. Sounds like one of Charlie Brown's parents. You know.
Yep. Hey, to that, I'm gonna crack open a cold one.
Mine's sweating over here.
I've got dragon fruit berry, Wegmans brand.
Back to dragon fruit. I got grapefruit. Since I'm old, so. Right. Let's crack these open.
Yep. Go birds.
Go birds.
I gotta tell you,
are you ready for football? It doesn't even feel like there's preseason.
Here's the thing.
I mean, there is no preseason.
Yeah.
I felt stupid as soon as I said that, but
no, but it doesn't feel like it's that time of year. No, everything feels like it's April. Am I ready for it? Yeah, I'm ready to have something that I'm ready for anything that is going to provide some form of entertainment. I'm hoping that we're going to get a productive season.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I look at it and I just go like, you know what? Like, Eagles, if you're going to lose, just I don't even want to watch. I can't emotionally take it this year. 2020 is not the year for you to lose. Just for the love of God, win. But I feel like everyone feels that way about their team more so.
I'm going through all the usual, like, I follow the same beat writers. Shout out to Mike K from Jersey. He's always there at the practices and stuff. I'm reading practice reports. I'm listening to WIP. I'm listening to I do all the normal sports things, but it's like, I'm right about now. I'm going to a shitty Eagles Jets game down at the fucking stadium. It's like the last week of every Eagles preseason. There's always that Eagles Jets with the third stringers to see who they're not going to cut.
Yeah, but I'm ready for it. I think we definitely need to do like a Patreon exclusive watch along of one of the games. And one of the reasons for that, I usually would get together with like my next door neighbor. He and I we'd go out, get together with some friends and watch the game together. And it's just, it's not happening this year. So to be able to watch with the Pod Squad would be fun.
Neighbor, like adjoining yard neighbor,
or he is my well, you drove past his house. He is my next door. If you're looking at my house, he's the one to the left.
It would be cool, like if you guys put like a big screen out in the backyard and socially distance watch that way.
That would be cool.
That. Yeah. I definitely want to get together on a Sunday and watch a game on the Patreon for like those of us, who are collective sports fans in the Pod Squad.
The best part will be if the Eagles are playing a team that we have fans of that team in our Patreon group. Yeah. Then we can have a nice little feud. Devin Miller says, mind of the Meanie fantasy football. Dude, I don't have the brain power to try and do a fantasy team.
I feel like the biggest failure every time a friend asks me to join his fantasy league.
I've been asked, and I'm just like, nope.
No. I could barely put a squad together in fucking Madden.
I will do March Madness because
that's I do March Fatness.
What's that?
I do March Fatness. Yeah.
Dude, I've been doing March to September Fatness is what I've been doing. I need to get on a freaking treadmill. But elliptical. I can't do treadmills. My knees are too fucked up. But
same.
But which reminds me, kind of shifting gears off of that. So, it is really hot up here in my office. We talk about that all the time. We talk about how hot it is.
It's just you.
I am really excited for my new studio / office thing that is getting built in my basement. Because when we did alternative commentary, I was downstairs in the basement for that, made a little makeshift set. And it was like 10 degrees cooler down there. It was so nice. We just had the egress put in, where they put like the stairs going into the basement, which took them like 3 hours to do. It was insane. They were so quick at doing this. But now the guy who's gonna be working on my basement, he's an old buddy from high school. And we're kind of like, we're going back and forth on the price. And I kind of had this idea where I was like, hey man, can we cut the price down a little bit? I'll just work with you and help you do the basement. And so that was good. And then today I threw my back out and I'm like, this is going to be a really rough couple of weeks. Because we're starting on Wednesday. And then it's also I guess it's okay because we'll be wearing masks and things like that, but you want to wear a mask anyway when you're doing construction.
Yeah, you want to kick up that fucking dust and stuff like that. But, do you do the CBD stuff?
I don't. I had actually tried that once upon a time, but the CBD that I was doing was mixed with the THC. Oh. And I just am sensitive as all hell to that. I remember I'm sitting on the couch. It was the first time I was trying it. I went and got
that's a good place to start. That's a good place to start, on the couch.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm watching TV with my wife, and I'm like, okay, I'll do this. One of the little tincture things, a little drip under the tongue. Good to go. I'm sitting down.
I'm bad with the drops.
All of a sudden, man, it's like I'm sitting there going, how long have I been here? I don't know what the hell I'm even watching. I was so zoned out. Now, I hadn't had, now if my mom's listening, I had never tried marijuana before.
Or as they say, the weed.
The weed. The old
I've never done the weed before.
Weed. But if my mom's not listening, then obviously, yes, I smoked pot before.
Look, if you're going to do a drug.
Yeah, one of my favorite things, I was walking down the boardwalk with my mom down the shore.
Smoking a blunt.
Back when I must have been in high school, and we're just walking down the boardwalk.
Pass left, Ma.
And I smell something. I'm like, oh man, somebody's smoking pot. And she's like, how do you know what that smells like? And I'm like, I read somewhere that it smells, I'm like.
It smells like a skunk.
Yeah, but but for whatever reason, the oils or anything like that, my tolerance is, maybe the fact that it had been 20 years, could have also played a factor. But it was too much for me. And the CBD itself didn't quite I don't know. I didn't feel like I was feeling anything. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a try.
Yeah.
We had a sponsor on here before that I would like to try some of their stuff maybe. Just the strictly CBD, because I don't need to get high. I'm high on life, man. I'm high. I get to work alongside the Blue Meanie every week. You don't get higher than that, so I don't need that. But I definitely need.
It's laughing gas, but
some sort of gas.
Yeah, I don't have methane. I let out laughing gas because I just laugh and laugh and laugh, and Tracy punches me and punches me.
Andy, can we get a shirt where the Blue Meanie is bent over and just a bunch of ha-has are coming out of his ass? Oh, man.
I have the worst poker face when it comes to farting.
Is it because you're enjoying your own scent so much, or?
So I'm waiting for the sell from other people. My favorite trick, and somebody just told this story recently. I was training we were training guys at the Monster Factory, and after a seminar, we went to the local bar near the Monster Factory. I guess their AC was busted, so they had one of these big fucking fans, it was taller than me and bigger around, and it was in the corner, it was blowing air towards the bar or whatever. I was like, oh boy.
You saw that as a challenge.
Oh, I stood right in front of the fan and let one fucking rip. And within 2 to 3 seconds, everybody at the bar is like, oh, what the fuck? And they turn around, I'm in front of the fan I got the worst fucking poker face.
Oh man,
or you either stand in front of the fan and fart, or you just get right behind the fan, and the fan sucks the fart out.
Then no one can see you.
I did a show in Portland or Eugene, Oregon, for West Coast Wrestling Connection, and they had one of those fans in the locker room, and it was level to, like, there's like a row of steel chairs. Everybody's getting changed or whatever, and I went behind that and let one fucking go. And it was like the movie Slapshot when they go down the fucking row and they hit everybody in the head with their fucking hockey sticks, watching the game, because every head just popped up like, boing, 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 like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm just staring there like,
You really want to get somebody. I had a friend of mine, his dad once got all of us. Walk into the room. He goes, "Hey, Josh, do you smell popcorn?"
yes.
So what do you do? Sure. You're taking that deep sniff in to make sure that you get it. It was,
dude. That's my trick.
It was a bad situation.
That's how you get somebody to smell your fart. You go, I smell popcorn.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, it's rough. That's rough.
I farted one time. There was one set. It was Halloween. So I was watching like an MTV Halloween special, and they had the guy from Psycho on or whatever. I just could not stop fucking farting. And my grandfather came in to tell me something, and he just went. My grandfather's not the most subtle man. He goes, "It stinks in here." And I never saw my grandfather run. Hold on. Let me try to do his voice. "It stinks in here." He just fucking turned around and fucking.
Oh my God.
And he's the one who was like my fucking Yoda of farts, my grandfather. He would come in like, "Oh, Pop, the cable's out." He's trying to figure out what the cable. He's in his fucking pajama pants and he fucking farts. And his underwear comes out like a boat sail, like, like, Jesus Christ. I just got to one knee and start fucking bowing to him. I was like, that's the most amazing. It's like when you look at something as it happens and you thought you felt like Firestarter. You felt like Drew Barrymore in Firestarter. Did I do that? Like, I was in traffic once. I looked down. I looked at somebody's car tire and it deflated. I was like, did I do that? Just like. I looked at his ass and it just went. Wow. It sounded like one of those fucking farts where he took like a rolling pin on bubble wrap. Just like. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's like a cartoon fart.
And if you'd like to see a cartoon fart, go to youtube.com/mindofthemeanie for Meanie Toons.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan Chambers says, this is the Meanie superpower, farting to make sure everyone is socially distancing.
Yeah, seriously. I can fucking, if we're in a crowded fucking room, I could build a lane for us to fucking go through. Like I told you, I stopped the fucking concert.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, I don't have much in life, Do you remember? Yes, I was in WWE, CW, but like subtle hobbies, like, people like to build a boat in a bottle and stuff like that. I just like to watch people fucking sell farts. Just,
Oh, man.
Reminds me, I'm low on Kashi cereal.
So am I. Actually just finished mine yesterday. I got to go get some.
Dude, they will fucking register me as a lethal weapon after I eat a bowl of Kashi cereal because I'm fucking disgusting. I can't even stand myself.
Oh,
it's
man.
like I just have to peel off my underwear with a tea kettle because I need that steam to fucking peel them off. It's like, whoa, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Oh God, that sounds delightful.
Yeah, but other than that,
so jealous of Mrs. Meanie.
No.
Hey, do you remember
that poor woman?
She's a hero. Do you remember the first StarCast where the first time you and I ever worked together, where I interviewed you? That hallway. They had fixed the flow of things for the second time there in Chicago. But that first time, that hallway was so congested. By like day 3, it smelled so bad in there.
Oh, yeah.
You had a table set up in that hallway, if I remember correctly. How much of that smell was courtesy of the Blue Meanie? and how much of it was the unwashed masses of wrestling fans?
Well, I have a method, because I won't fart at my own table. You know, oh, that's Meanie's table. That's where the smells come from. Meanie did it. So they had all those like cardboard cutouts in the hallway.
Yeah.
So like I would walk over to the Young Bucks cardboard cutout, strike the pose, and acting like I'm interacting, with like different boards, like, and then like what I like to do is I call it vapor trailing or crop dusting.
Crop dusting is how I've always.
Or leave a vapor trail where you start it. I used to do this in strip clubs when WWE sent us to Memphis. We used to go to this bar called Denim and Diamonds, and they would close at like 2. And we're young and we wanted to get more drunk. So we go over to Platinum, Club Platinum. And we go in there to drink, and the stripper's like, "You want to dance?" I was like, "Nope." And just keep drinking. So what I would do is like I would find a starting point, and I would let out the fart and the little, and I would start my walk around the fucking center stage, and as I'm getting half, like if I started at 12 and I get to 6 o'clock, I look over at the guy at 12, and the guy's like, "Oh." Oh fuck! And I work my way back, and then like I break off like a fighter pilot, like this, like Top Gun when they're trying to disengage a Ming fucking plane that's following a Russian jet. There's and they break off from it. I would break off from the fart and just watch the fucking around the center stage where like these women are trying to earn tips, but
Hey Fred, if you're listening, can we get some female stripper cartoon characters going? Rig those up, because I think how do you have an animation set for sliding down a pole in disgust by the smell?
Yeah, man. Fucking Denim and Diamonds. That was cool. Platinum. We went to Platinum. I met the singer from Saliva, who was like the doorman. And then, like, we walk in, and there's, like, Randy Savage sitting there. I was like, what? And, like, I guess he was, maybe WCW was in town or whatever. And, hello, Mr. Savage. Hello. And I left it at that, and, you're here in the club. I'll leave you alone and stuff like that. But those Memphis years were, months, were fun.
Definitely felt like years to whoever was smelling.
Dude, I was on the high protein. That was the same era where I stopped the concert. I was on the high protein diet. I had lost 160 pounds. So my fucking farts would knock a buzzard off a fucking shit wagon. Just fucking. It would end whatever conflict was happening at the time.
Oh. Hey, speaking of conflicts, James Sorensen writes, "Are we any closer to seeing Orange v. Blue?" We're going to circle on back, because about an hour ago we started talking about the Blue Meanie coming up with a match for AEW. So let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Blue Meanie. Well, we got so hung up on Thunderdome, and then we just went off the rails from there. It's been a good episode.
So far, it's all downhill from here. But there was another match that was created. So before we talk about that, here's the thing, everybody. We've had some great tweets, great fan art as it relates to Orange v. Blue. But not enough people are tagging Tony Khan and Orange Cassidy. And you gotta tag, and you gotta use the hashtag, even if you're retweeting or even if you're commenting. You gotta use that hashtag, and you gotta be strategic about it.
Yeah, you gotta get in there you need to figure out a way for Tony Khan to see this. Although I'm pretty sure if Meanie retweets it, someone who's high up in AEW is seeing it, because Meanie came up with the Mimosa Mayhem match, or whatever they're calling it.
I want to toot my own fucking horn. But this is like twice. Like I tweeted at AEW about the Thunderdome concept, and then 2 months later, WWE Thunderdome. Well, I didn't use the term Thunderdome. I just described it, right? But this time, Jericho and I'm not slagging anybody. I love Jericho. I love Orange Cassidy. Let that be known. I'm actually jealous of them. But no, seriously. I mean, those are the careers you want, where you can. With Jericho, he does everything: wrestling, music, movies, comedy, everything. Orange Cassidy gets the most out of doing very little, which is awesome. You know, we talk about
when he does
bodies.
do stuff, that dude can go.
He can go. That's the beautiful thing of it.
Yeah, you ever see him play Jenga? That
No.
guy's an animal. I'm not kidding, actually. I played Jenga with him. He is. You talk about strategic. My God.
But they started that feud, and I just, Orange Cassidy versus Jericho. I was like, and I just saw the irony in it, because he was Mr. a little bit of bubbly against Orange Cassidy. So, and I love mimosas, and
Sure.
anytime I hear mimosa, I think of Richard Christie from the Howard Stern show, because he loves mimosas. He's like, I love mimosas. But shout out to Richard Christie. I love you. I miss you. But yeah, I tweeted to the tweet that Jericho put out. I was like, oh my God, bubbly versus, a little bit of bubbly versus Orange Cassidy, a mimosa match.
Yep. Here we are.
2 months later. And I did the tweet. I was like, remember that time?
Yeah.
I did that twice in the last couple weeks, where, remember that time? And it's my tweet describing the Thunderdome, and then the Thunderdome announcement.
At what point in time is somebody just going to put you on the creative team for one of these companies? You know when it's going to happen? When you stop tweeting these ideas. Because they're tweeting them, they're going, what the hell do we need to pay Blue Meanie to put them on creative?
Right.
Blue Meanie has a long history of just telling people ideas. We've talked about the Val Venus character. The Blue Meanie, you gotta stop giving these ideas away for free to all of these companies.
I'll Mean Gene it. I'll do like, I got a great idea for you guys, but you got to join our Patreon over at patreon.com/mindinthemeanie, and for $5 a month,
I was going to say, Patreon for us is a hell of a lot cheaper than calling that 900 number.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like $2 a minute?
Yeah, $2.99 a minute.
You get for $5 a month. You get, what do we have? How many shows? 4 to 5 shows a month. Each one's about 3 hours long. So your price per minute.
I like to think I'm more of a muse than anything. Like, you give me an idea, and I think I could put a really good spin on it. Not to make it better, just add to it.
That's part of a creative team.
Right.
That's the idea of it. You've always had, like, whenever I've done any of the creative stuff that I've done, I've always had my people that I bounce it off of. Yeah. You know what I mean? Hey, I saw that was a nice shirt you had there that you were just adjusting. Yeah. You know what it makes
I was airing my tits out.
Sometimes you have to do it. But you know what that makes me think of?
What's that, sir?
That makes me think of one of our great sponsors.
Let's do it.
Let's talk a little bit about them. Homage. However you would like to.
I was waiting for you to say it. Well, I said, let's do it. I was like, that's my way of.
Is it homage? Is it homage?
Yeah.
HOMAGE. Homage is what we're going to call them.
Dude, I love this company. Legit. I'm wearing it. I got a couple of shirts.
Let's talk a little bit about them right now.
Yes, let's do that.
I'm sorry, I meant for you to talk about them.
Okay. Well, we go from me talking about being uncreative to being totally uncreative of how to start a fucking plug.
All right, so Homage it's at homage.com, HOMAGE.com. They make such cool retro shirts. They make a ton of shirts in general, but so many different things, from sports to various pop culture things, like Nickelodeon. You want to get yourself an old Nick at Night shirt. But one of the things that they're very focused on is professional wrestling. And most specifically, what we're going to talk about right now is their WWE section. They have pop culture, they have outdoor, they have colleges, they have all these different things. But the WWE section is where it's at because they have recreations of all of these amazing retro shirts. The first one, when I type it in, is a shirt that I actually had a tank top of that I wore for Halloween when I was in elementary school, when I dressed as Bret the Hitman Hart. That is one of my favorite shirts just because it's so iconic to me. I can picture Bret wearing that tank top, and I did not know until reading this right now that shirt is available in t-shirt form from Homage, and guess what? I'm going to be buying it. As soon as we get off here, no joke, I'm going to be getting that. The Legion of Doom, Harlem Heat, Eddie Guerrero, the NWO Wolfpack, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and it's not just recreations. They're also completely original shirts as well, but you've got Jake the Snake Roberts, you've got Stone Cold, you've got for the Royal Rumble, for SummerSlam, so many awesome shirts. And the cool thing about it is we don't have a promo code for you. You actually have to go to one of our social media pages, and we will be tweeting out. You got to find that tweet. We will be tweeting out a direct link for you to use to follow, to go to Homage and get these shirts. So we will have that direct link for you on all of our social media pages except for Instagram because, screw Instagram. They won't let us put a link on. But it'll be there. But Meanie, tell us a little bit. You're wearing one of the shirts now, are you not?
Oh, absolutely. Look, Homage makes fantastic shirts. Been a fan of them for years. And, they give me such, happiness because I've always wanted, to get like an ECW shirt. And right now I'm wearing a vintage ECW barbed wire shirt in my favorite colors. A lot of people like to do the ECW purple and black, but my favorite colors are the red, red, white, and the black and stuff like that for the ECW logo with the barbed wire logo. Homage has made, the perfect ECW shirt because it's so comfortable, it's so stylish and stuff like that. This shirt's in my rotation every week. They just sent me, I just ordered a Dusty Rhodes vintage t-shirt, from, the Crockett era. I also have a Terry Funk shirt from them. That's so comfortable that you don't even feel like you're really wearing the t-shirt. It's that light of a material, and it's that quality material I wish every t-shirt company made. But yeah, man, go to homage.com. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to make this shirt a tweet with our link, and I'm going to pin it to the top of my social media page so you can find it that much easier, because I want you to go to Homage and get some of these really cool wrestling shirts that they have up there. I definitely want to get some of the WrestleMania shirts. What they do is they take the feature match of a certain WrestleMania and they make it the t-shirt, like the tail of the tape type of t-shirt with that WrestleMania's logo on it. It's fantastic. It's so cool.
Yeah, they do an amazing job and affordable as well. You're getting, either, like I said, the recreations. I'm so obsessed with this Bret Hart shirt right now. And I do have a birthday coming up, so I'm going to send this on out to some friends and family and say, hey, guys, it's time. But then I'll probably order it myself anyway. But yeah, if you want to pay homage to some of the great wrestling events, wrestlers, promotions of yesteryear, go to homage.com, HOMAGE. Let them know Mind of the Meanie sent you, but more importantly, when you're going to go, click our link. Don't just go to the website. I'm not even going to give it to you anymore. Find it on our thing, click our link. Maybe they'll send Mind of the Meanie a little something, for that. I like being paid in hugs. I like being paid in food and in clothing. So, no, but seriously, go over. Meanie's going to pin that. I think we'll pin that as well on Mind of the Meanie. And just follow that link, and we'll put a bunch of photos in there so you can see what you're clicking, what you're going to. But we want to thank them so much for this little partnership that we've got going on. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to be working with another person coming along wanting to work with us here on Mind of the Meanie. It's very exciting.
Yeah, especially if you use our link, they give us a little kickback, which goes back into the production of the show. Like I said, every sponsorship dollar we get goes into helping us host this page and bring you better quality content. And they have great content over there at Homage or Homage, whichever you prefer. I mean, use our link. Get these WWF shirts. Get this fantastic ECW shirt. If you're an old school fan of video games, they have an NBA Jam shirt. And you can get an NBA Jam shirt in your favorite sports team's design. We'll have that link on. We'll pin it to the top of our page to make it easy for you to find and stuff like that. But please use that specific link so they can let you know that they didn't waste their time with us. They know we have a pod squad behind us, and they know a pod squad that will support us. Let them know that we sent you, and that way we can keep this partnership going.
Peaking of, easy for me to say. Speaking of our pod squad, I just received this great logo. Inside Baseball.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I think that's going to have to go up on our, maybe we'll make that a Patreon. Maybe we'll make that a full pro wrestling tease. Who knows?
Hold on. Let me see that. Let's collaborate on air.
All right. We're going to collaborate on air. Can we put a little meanie into here? Maybe that baseball has the Blue Meanie's face.
Can we make the word inside have barbed wire in it like the ECW logo, like the shirt I'm wearing right now?
Andy.
Yeah.
Yes. And maybe if we can put like the meanies, like the raccoon eyes or something on the baseball. What do you think?
Yeah.
Of that? Something like that. So it's so we got a little bit more theme to it. But man, how do you keep making these amazing logos? These are so good.
And Schlichter.
I think it's just
Andy.
Slichter. I don't think it's Schlichter. I think it's Slichter.
Well, look, I'm from the Northeast, where we call Jimmy Snuka Jimmy Schnucka. All these years. Like if you're from the Northeast, Philly, New York area, we always added the SH to Snuka. We call him Schnucka.
It's like my name's Shernoff.
Yeah.
My family we're just from South Philly. We just couldn't say it any other way, so it just became Shernoff.
Yeah. Fucking whatchamacallit, we if you come to Philly, we say instead of water, we say water.
Say water, yep.
We don't go shopping at the Acme, we go to the Acme. So
the Acme.
Yeah, Acme. So Schlichter.
We go down the shore.
Yeah. Oh, it's a sin. Can you bag that for me? I'm going down the shore.
Wreck every bathroom and leave is amazing. James Sorensen says, "Yeah, man. What about that reaction, dude? That might be our top seller at this point."
Fuck the Pod Squad shirt. That was our top selling shirt, but the wreck every bathroom and leave shirt. Did I say that one alternative commentary?
Yeah.
Oh, I had to be because that's when I saw the shirt.
Oh dear God.
But dude,
Andy's at it again. That's a nice one for Patreon members to know to see that. So that's the thing. You're on Patreon. You're getting to see these shirts before they become shirts. That's
you get us to see us pop in real time.
That this is like a silhouette of the Blue Meanie bent over with a word bubble that says "ha ha" coming out of his ass. So
yeah.
The Doctor of merch. So every time I said that, so I mentioned that to Andy, and I explained to him that I was referencing the Doctor of Style Slick.
Right.
And I think he had taken it as the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Ooh. Well, not that anything's wrong with that.
No, but I think if we were to make a Doctor of merch, I think maybe based off of John Cena probably be more recognizable than Slick. Especially since everybody in our Patreon group was born in like 2004.
I could have held him in my arms at one point and just rocked him to sleep.
You probably still could. You're a pretty large man.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
I got stupid strength.
I remember the first time I met you. Most everybody's taller than me, I feel like, but in the wrestling business at least. But I was surprised when I met you. Like anyone who's never met the Blue Meanie in person, Blue Meanie is a tall man. How tall are you?
I'm about 5'13". No, seriously, I don't realize how tall I am until I see myself in the mirror next to like Mrs. Meanie.
Yeah.
Like to me, like Mrs. Meanie is like eye level with me. I look in the mirror, I go, "Oh shit, I'm tall."
I'm like that with my wife, and I'm not tall. She's just really short. But Mrs. Meanie's not that tall either because I'm taller than her.
Right. But like I'm so bad at heights and distances and stuff like that. If you ask me like how tall was he, like if a cop went, how tall was the perpetrator? I'll be like, oh, I don't know my height, and the guy's probably like 5'3".
Somewhere between 5'3" and 7 feet tall. I don't know.
Somewhere between 5'3" and 6'13" or 5'13". But
oh man,
that's my old go-to. I know it was a corny joke.
No, it's great. It's great.
It was great. It was okay.
Yeah.
I'm deceptively tall. Like I'll watch myself on TV, which I try not to do because I'm overly critical of myself. But like I'll see myself, I'm like, I got some height there.
So when we were planning for one of the episodes that we were debating doing for a watch along for Patreon was the episode where Taz basically like killed you, and it starts the episode of ECW, and you come out there, and it's post BWO, I believe. But
maybe
I saw you I don't know, but I saw you maybe it's not post BWO, but I saw you standing in the ring. No, I don't think it is post BWO.
Because there's a time we interrupted Taz's match against Rob Van Dam, and we came out as the BWO, and afterwards it wasn't that where he slapped us.
Because you were wearing just the Blue Meanie shirt.
Okay.
I don't really remember when it was.
Did he suplex me? Did he give me the Taz?
Yes.
That was post BWO. That was in Louisiana.
Okay. But I saw that.
We were wrestling the FBI, and he came out, and I tried to make him do the meanie dance. I started explaining the meanie dance, and then he just fucking.
But my first thought when I saw it, I was like, my God, I was like, Meanie is just like gigantic next to Taz, But Taz, I mean, look, Taz not a particularly tall guy. But no, hey, listen, that's not an insult to Taz. I'm allowed to say Taz isn't tall because I'm 5'8" when I'm standing up straight. But Taz, my God, you never would have known on TV that he would get it. I believed that he could cut down any giant on television. And I should say Taz isn't a tall guy for the wrestling business. He is an average height man. He's a full-grown man. I love Taz. Now I'm scared. It's good thing I'm not going back to AEW anytime soon.
Brother.
But
no, he just got into it with somebody on Twitter over the height thing, and I was like, oof.
See, but to me, like somebody had. I forget what I had posted, what it was in reference to, but someone was talking about. Oh, someone was arguing something about these shrimps in AEW and how it's not realistic and all that stuff. And I posted the Hoist Gracie.
I remember that.
Yeah, what was it? Gracie and
I guess Akibono.
Akibono, yes, where Gracie tapped him out and all that. And that to me was like. I don't see it as an offensive thing to say that somebody, maybe it's because I'm short and because I tried to wrestle as a short guy, but I don't see it as an offensive thing. What did you just drink?
Oh, that was the ass end of the fucking.
You got the bottom. I could see it hanging around in the bottom of the glass you were drinking there.
That was a cold brew, and I got the bottom of the fucking carafe. And I made a new one, and I just got the, oh my God. I could literally punch daylight right now. Just that fucking hit me. I was like, holy shit.
But no, but
this is the quality content you get on.
Yep. But no, I never felt like I never looked at Taz. If anything, I looked at Taz and felt like, oh man, if only I could make my arms and torso and legs 8 times the size of what they currently are, then maybe I could be like Taz. And yeah,
he was so disciplined with, training and working out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I went to the House of Hardcore a couple times and worked out with him. And, the cool thing about what, he trained, they made that school just for him to have a place to hang out, work out, and train people. But they weren't even concerned with. They didn't give a shit if they had any graduates. They just wanted to make disciplined wrestlers, very good working wrestlers. So you got, maybe a handful of guys who actually survived his training. Him and Perry Saturn were the trainers there. Roadkill, Danny Doring, Chris Chetty, Tom Marquez, but I can't think of his work name. But a few people came out of there. And Taz was such a health freak, fitness freak. I mean, like, he could do, like, amazing stuff, like, with just, like, he was just so flexible and stuff like that. But you're talking about that video clip. It just brought back a memory where, like, it was going to be me and Nova against the BWO, and it was in Louisiana. It was the same night that Dudley's broke Beulah's neck with the 3D, and that was her last appearance ever.
Yeah.
That was that same show. I have to look on history of the WWF.com for the date, but Taz was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come over and interrupt your match, suplex you guys," and Taz goes, "Brother, some of the boys don't think I can get you up for a suplex." And I was like, "Taz, I do a backflip off the top rope. I can jump." So we went through the motions a little bit, for the Taz T-bone suplex. And we wound up doing, it went over so well, we wound up doing a couple times. We did, like, on the Boston Loop and stuff like that. But, like, I was like, "Oh, dude, how great it would be if I tried to get you to dance." And you're just, look, I go, "This is how you do it, Taz." And I start doing the meanie dance, and you just snatch me up like a shark and just suplex me. And I really folded in half, but it didn't hurt or anything like that. I was just amazed at how flexible I was. But, like, he gave it a little extra oomph.
He's going to make you flexible if you're not flexible beforehand.
And that was the last time I saw my dick. I was like, "Hello, old friend. Goodbye, old friend." But we wound up doing that same spot on the Boston Loop. And just for shits and giggles, Taz did the DeMeanie dance. Oh, and there's video of it if you get, like, the fan cam footage of it.
That's awesome.
And I had, like, bad sun poisoning too, which was like, I looked like a fucking lobster. I don't know why I went to a fucking tanning bed, but I'm in the locker room and, like, RVD walks in and goes, "Oh!" He just looks at me. I'm sitting there all beet red. So I had to do the spot with Taz, which was, if I wasn't sun poisoned, it would have been fucking fantastic. But, yeah, there's footage out there of Taz doing the meanie dance. So we have people with capabilities of making GIFs that follow us.
Yes. If only there was a pro wrestling GIF maker.
Yeah, that followed us and could make a GIF.
Yeah, man.
It was like 98, summer 98, Massachusetts Loop.
Taz was one of my absolute all-time favorites.
He's fantastic, man.
And the fact that I've, I got to interview him a couple times, and then he made an appearance for AEW, and he actually signed the contract that night.
Right.
But we recorded something, and we had to wait a day to put it out for AEW Plus because we didn't want to, obviously that would have kind of killed their announcement a little bit. But when he came up to me, and he was one of those people early on when I started doing things who I hear someone say hello to me by name and I turn around and it's Taz. That was one of those. Everybody has their things where they feel like they've made it. Like, I felt like I made it because Taz and Tony Schiavone in the same night greeted me by name. Yeah. And I was just like, young kid fan is just like jumping for joy here. This was so cool. And then to get that opportunity to actually cut, which you can go to youtube.com/so says Shernoff, and somewhere on there is that that thing I did with Taz. You can find it. We're in the stands at the arena down in Florida where the AEW Bash of the Beach was. And we just had so much fun doing that little segment where we just like joke back and forth. And I think it like ended with us just cracking up. And I just want to say he has, and not just because I'm afraid he's going to kick my ass now because I referenced his height, but Taz was always one of my favorites and is one of the people I enjoy seeing the most when I am at any of these conventions or backstage. He's just been genuinely kind to me when there was no reason for him to have to be. And he's not alone in that. I've been very lucky to have some really awesome people that have gone out of their way to help me along the way. And Taz, and I mentioned Tony Schiavone. These are people who I feel have gone out of their way to kind of put me over when they really, really didn't have to. I was just a guy there going and getting some interviews. And so just want to throw that out there. Taz, please don't hurt me the next time I see you. But no, I love Taz. But yeah,
I saw him wrestle in the WWF as a fan. Might have been the summer I graduated high school. He was doing a loop for WWF.
Was this when he was the Tasmaniac?
Yeah. Or it might have been 90. I'm trying to think of when it was. There's
a video that's surfaced of like the hard cam just showing him doing, I guess, a tryout match.
Yeah. I forgot who he might have been working Jim Powers on the show. The main event for that show was the Steiner brothers against IRS and DiBiase for the tag belts. That's all I remember. I remember seeing Taz wrestle. And after was ringside, and I was trying to ask him questions. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to take fucking photos here. Will you stop talking to me?"
I'm sure he said it just like that too.
Yeah, he broke character. He broke
character. He goes, "Hey, my name's George Napolitano. Damn it, stop calling me after."
Would you do this to George Napolitano? Damn it.
Hey, have you seen? There's a video someone posted recently. If you ever want to see Taz break character. The dude lost it in a promo in ECW with the Steiners. I only saw a clip of this. I have to see the whole thing, but Scott Steiner just goes off on like feminine wrestlers.
Really?
It was, and this is like Steiner Brothers time. Like this is, you know, and it was, I have never seen.
It was in a ring, right?
No, this was backstage.
Okay.
And
they did a series of interviews with Taz in a ring, which was backstage at DCW Arena, which was JT Smith's de facto.
I don't think it was in a ring. Maybe it was, but I only saw a clip of it. But Scott Steiner, this was like Big Papa Pump coming out of old school Scott Steiner's mouth. Like, and I was like, oh my God, I guess he's just always actually been that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just funny. Maybe
hey, dude, I the first time I met Taz, like in real life, remix.
First time I met Taz.
Nickelodeon. It was backstage at ECW Arena when I was training with Al, and Pee Wee Moore was working the show. But it was like every month I would go to an ECW Arena show. I would drive back from Al's gym, Atlantic City, spend the week with the family. And I would end it off with going to the arena, and then from the arena, drive straight back to Lima. So John Pee Wee Moore, who trained with us, was on the CCW show. He's like, "Hey, man, can I ride back to Ohio with you?" Sure. So I was hanging out, and this was like when, typical show's over, and Paulie did promos after the show, and you wouldn't get paid till promos. So I kind of had to like hide off in this area of the arena. I felt like if I would have been seen, they would kick me the fuck out, or I felt like I was eavesdropping or whatever. And like Taz walks by, "Hey, brother," and I was like, that was the extent of it. But he was like happy, smiling, and stuff like that. And then later on, I met him maybe a year later for NWA Sabu out in Detroit, and he got familiar with me out there. And then when I came to ECW, he put two and two together. He's like, "Oh, you're that kid. You got his head shaved by Paul and Sabu." And I was like, yes, that was me. So I realized I was becoming accepted in ECW. Like I was only there for like a few months, and Taz comes up to me and, "Hey, we're getting these ECW jackets made. Do you want one?" And it was like the varsity jacket with the red, I want to say velvet. It was like the red jacket with the black sleeves and your name, and it said ECW on the sleeve, which I still have. I was like, "Oh, so if I get this jacket, that means I'm in ECW, like for good, for a while at least till I get my jacket, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was such a good guy. Taz would always like rib me. Like I had this shirt I called my Bert and Ernie shirt because it looked like something like Bert and Ernie would wear. Meanie, horizontal stripes? Nah. He would rib me about wearing horizontal stripes. I was getting fashion tips from Taz. So yeah, he was always good to me, man. Taz was a good dude, funny guy. And then like eventually the world came to see that once. He got on commentary on SmackDown, and that you got to see the real Taz. So he's just cracking jokes and stuff like that. So
I
love him.
I've always been just a big fan of his character, a big fan of him as a performer, and just
he easily could have shit on me, easily could have killed me, and I could have whatever. A lot of those guys in ECW, if they didn't like you, they could have just killed your career.
Yep.
And he was a very accepting. Of me, and I appreciate it.
Hey, speaking of the varsity jacket, those are available now, not the ECW ones, but the Mind of the Meanie ones. They're available now if you go to patreon.com. Now, here's the fun thing. You go to Patreon, you will get a link. When you join Patreon, you get a link to our private Patreon merchandise page. We have so much stuff. We have shirts that aren't on Pro Wrestling Tees. We then have shirts that are on Pro Wrestling Tees, but we have that logo on things like mugs and flags and towels. And, we're even looking at, Meanie doesn't know this, but the possibility they have flip-flops that might even have the Blue Meanie's face on the flip-flops so he can have people's feet all over. What do you think of that? Would that be good?
You're fucking...
Just put the feet right on your face, and then people can send us those pictures.
Dude,
would it make you feel better if it was your face on one and my face on the other?
We'll save that merch for Tony Atlas.
Okay. Oh my God.
That's why I hate, I try to make this fucking podcast and be personal, and you just turn it against me.
That's what I'm here for.
Hurt my feelings. And
I'm
you're
sorry,
a motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
Shernoff.
I'm sorry, Meanie.
No, seriously, no flip-flops. I hate flip-flops.
Okay.
I hate the sounds of flip-flops, flip-flopping on feet.
So you just don't want, when the world opens back up, just a bunch of Pod Squad members showing up in Blue Meanie flip-flops?
I'll fucking elbow drop your fucking foot. I'll fucking kick you right in your fucking
Well, you know
bunion.
what? There's a ton of merchandise that I'm sure you can get behind. And that was not the merchandise. It is not.
It sounds
time
like
for
me
Ask
falling down
Me.
the stairs.
It's not time for Ask Meanie anything. It's time to talk a little bit about our merch. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. You can go there and find all of these amazing shirts that our very own Andy Slichter, the doctor of merch, has been making for us. But going all the way back to Baby in a Beanbag Chair, the Hal Haney logo tee, the 3 seltzers deep. I'm going off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. So many awesome shirts available at ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie, but more so than even just our great shirts like that ECW-inspired circle shirt. We've got pins. We've got pins, folks, and you got to pick them up because they're limited supply. They're not like the shirts that are print on demand. These pins, when they're gone, they are gone. We will not be making any more of these exact pins. Will we have another Hal Haney logo? Maybe, but it's not going to be the exact one that you're seeing there. Will we have another Meanie Toons? Maybe, but it won't be this. So be a completist. Go get those pins. You will not be disappointed. They're awesome. But while you're at ProWrestlingTees.com, make sure that you swing by ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie for all of your BWO and Blue Meanie specific merchandise. Meanie, tell them what they can find.
Over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. So many good shirts, man. I mean, Mind of the Meanie, we have excellent shirts. And I'm having a little bit more fun. Well, not more fun. I'm just having just as much fun over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie because I did a little rib on myself. I found an old photo of me as the zebra kid. I was like, well, the Zebra Kid never really had a T-shirt, so let's make a Zebra Kid T-shirt. And the Doctor of Merch, Mr. Andy Slichter, helped make me my first and only ever Blue Meanie. Well, not Blue Meanie.
Zebra Kid.
Zebra Kid shirt. The funny thing is, I thought, I was Zebra Kid. I was like, oh, I'm the first and only Zebra Kid. I was like, no. But no, seriously.
Probably the first and only one to ever get a T-shirt, though.
Yes, I'm the first Zebra Kid T-shirt. Go over there and support this young up-and-coming wrestler named the Zebra Kid. Also, over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie, we have the BWO Japan shirt, which I've said before, a shirt that was limited in Japan only when the BWO expanded over to Japan with Michinoku Pro. The Michinoku guys made a BWO Japan shirt. And I said, you know what? I really want that shirt for myself. So I'm going to make it for myself. And if other people happen to want to buy it, have at it. So, that's been like the top selling shirt right now over at, the Blue Meanie page on Pro Wrestling Tees. We have the classic BWO shirt. We got in blue and white. And we also have the BWO Bob Wire shirt, which is my homage to when Hulk Hogan wore an NWO Bob Wire shirt. I was like, oh, I gotta make a BWO shirt. Of course. And I've sat on the design for so many years, I just finally said, hey, I'm going to put that up on Pro Wrestling Tees, which is the beauty of Pro Wrestling Tees. Whatever you want to design, you can just do it, and we're living proof of that. But, go over to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie, support the Meanie, support the young Zebra Kid, get the rare BWO Japan shirt. And then after you're done getting a shirt from me, go over to ProWrestlingTees.com/SoSaysShernoff.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, you can go over there. You can get T-shirts like the one I'm wearing right now. A lot of things. If you like an S, you'll definitely find. I got S's all over the place. You should see all the S's I have over at ProWrestlingTees.com/SoSaysShernoff. We have the T-shirt that looks like you're wearing a tie. We've got me on an old school WWF style ice cream bar. We have sarcasm is my superpower. Lots and lots of great shirts over there. But I do want to one more time plug our Patreon exclusive because there is so much merchandise over there, and we now have sections that it's a Josh Shernoff merch and Blue Meanie merch. So not only are you getting special merchandise for mine and the Meanie, but you're getting special merchandise for each of us. So you like that Zebra Kid shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie, and you wish it was on a mug? Well, now it's on a mug over at our Patreon merchandise page. So many cool things going on. We hope that you guys will enjoy all of our merchandise. We love seeing pictures that you send us. Yes, Meanie?
Also, if you go, join our Patreon, go to our exclusive page. If you ever wanted a BWO mug, now you can have a BWO mug over at our exclusive Patreon page.
Or a flag, a BWO flag.
Which I need to get for my backdrop here. I definitely want a BWO flag.
So there are definitely there are definitely pieces of merchandise that you can only get through our Patreon page. We've told you the hack before. Just go in, pay $5, become a Patreon member. You get the entire month to go buy all of our merchandise. You're good to go. Then just say goodbye and leave. That's it. It's a little bit if you don't want to hang around. But I think you're going to want to hang around because we're having a blast here. Having a lot of fun. And before we go, we can't go without talking about the wrestling brand Collar and Elbow. CollarandElbowBrand.com. Use the coupon code Meanie and save 10%. The BWO took over Collar and Elbow. They've got such awesome shirts over there as well. Wrestling themed, but things that you can feel comfortable wearing. My son asked me what the mirrored Collar and Elbow shirt said. So I told him, he asked, what does that mean? So I then taught him how to do a collar and elbow tie-up. And he's actually pretty good at it. And I think when he turns 5, he's going to join the wrestling team because that kid will whoop some ass. But you can be dressed ready to whoop some ass if you go to CollarandElbowBrand.com and use that coupon code Meanie to save 10%.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Rod Hicks and Al Snow over at Collar and Elbow brand.com. Dude, they're doing such great work. I love these guys, not only as wrestlers and businessmen, but as human beings. They've made it a point to make it so wrestlers can have this way of promoting themselves and earn a couple extra bucks in the meantime. So if you go over to collarandelbowbrand.com and use promo code Meanie, you will save some money on these fantastic shirts. Like you just said, I took over the offices. I took their Collar and Elbow brand mirrored shirt, which just says collar, and underneath it's upside down elbow, kind of like a mirror. And instead of elbow, it says LBWO. And, I love the shirt. I love the way the white pops off the blue. I'm partial to blue and white, of course, being the captain of the BWO. But they have so many great ideas over there. They have jackets. They have hats. They have my favorite shirt. I'm the parody guy, and they do have some great parody shirts over there. My favorite being the Mid-South Wrestling shirt, where the old Mid-South Wrestling logo is a big jacked up dude holding up the Mid-South title. And it would say Mid-South Wrestling, but it says Collar and Elbow. Such a great shirt. Comfortable shirts as well. They put a lot of stuff into that. You can go over there and get Collar and Elbow towels, to take to the gym if you once the world opens back up and we can hit the gym, or if you're just working out in your backyard in the apocalypse. Go over to collarandelbowbrand.com, use promo code Meanie, and save some money.
Everybody likes to save some money. Hey, you know what I want to do that we haven't done? We didn't do it last week, so I think I'm going to do two of them now because we got some two new ones that came in.
Sweet.
It's time for a little Foo Fighters. I would like to take this time right now to read a couple of reviews on our iTunes. How's that sound? We're up to 59 5-star ratings, and we've got a few more reviews that came in. So I wanted to take a look at those. Really appreciate the ratings, really appreciate the reviews, and we're gonna get started here right now. So this one comes from Drom Doran. Blue Meanie is my spirit animal. I've met Blue Meanie at WrestleCade, and he is one of the most approachable people. I think he spoke to me before I got to his table, complimenting my vaudevillain shirt.
Nice.
Mrs. Meanie was with him and all but grabbed me and hugged me when meeting her. She is awesome. When the podcast came out and he references some of my favorite things, Howard Stern Show and Trailer Park Boys, that's when I was like, Blue Meanie is like me if I actually lived the dream of being in the wrestling business. Thanks for the amazing podcast. I drive quite a bit for work, but I'm never alone. It's like riding with two friends talking about who the hell knows what. So thank you, Drom Doran. Dude, that's
Thanks,
awesome.
brother. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I treat people the way I want to be treated. So, and same with Mrs. Meanie. Until I treat people great until they give me a reason not to.
Yeah.
So,
well, he definitely didn't give you a reason not to right there.
Yeah, those words are they mean a lot. Everybody wants to be a heel. Everybody wants to be a shooter. Everybody's got this online persona like I'm a shooter. I'm going to talk shit. I never got that. Why invent drama where there doesn't need to be any? So like when I'm at these conventions and stuff, I'm just trying to have fun, interacting with folks. And they already, people come to the conventions and stuff like that. They've already spent their money to come in. Why not make them feel welcome?
Sure.
It takes a lot to get people to want to leave the comfort at home. I don't want to leave my fucking house, especially in South Philly since parking's the shits. But, somebody in South Philly's really your friend if they give up a parking spot in front of their house to help you with something. But when it comes to these conventions and stuff, you pay this entry fee and just treat people like humans. It's not that hard. It's easier to treat people kindly than they create drama and fight. But, thank you so much for those kind words. Mrs. Meanie comes with me to everything because, just because she's my best friend and she's a great travel partner. And, I wouldn't want to travel with anybody else. Like I said, she's pretty much one of the boys anyway. I mean, she's been around long enough. She knows as much about the business for somebody who's never taken a bump. Mm-hmm. So, between, talking to me and Al and all that stuff. So, yeah, I love bringing her to shows because she's cordial with everybody. I don't have to worry about her embarrassing me.
Yeah, more than cordial. I mean, she's just super friendly to,
Yeah.
Always was a very welcoming to me and my crew when we were doing stuff, and always a blast to see her there. And I'm glad to know that other people enjoy seeing Mrs. Meanie as well. And now they're getting to really kind of get to know Mrs. Meanie a little bit more through the podcast and her incredible videos. Again, youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Go check those out. Any of the Mrs. Meanie run-ins, and of course the Mrs. Meanie bonus juggling demo. If you're thinking juggling, I don't really care, you should go watch it. It's awesome.
Well, the cool thing about it is she even leaves in the botches to show that to show the progress and stuff like that. And since she's recorded, she's actually gotten better, and she's working her way up to moving on from juggling balls to clubs, like the things that look like bowling pins, stuff like that. So
very cool.
Yeah, man.
No, but we enjoy. We watched that video. I watched it with my wife, and she was laughing. She thought there was funny stuff, and she thought that Mrs. Meanie was. She really just enjoyed her personality, enjoyed watching her. And
that means a lot.
Yeah, and it's cool because my wife doesn't really want to watch any of the stuff that I'm doing, so it's so it's nice. But here we're gonna do another one from Dos Ex Apollo. Because we didn't do one last week, so we'll do two now. Great for any wrestling podcast fans. The Meanie and Josh bring the entertainment, touching on a wide range of topics, wrestling and otherwise. Unlike some of the other pods out there, you can tell they are actually friends outside of the pod, and you're just getting an opportunity to listen to a conversation between two friends rather than a contrived interview. Highly recommend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we can tell you the truth. Like, I mean, personally, I'm just riding Meanie's coattails. Never been much of a fan of the guy. Didn't even know he was a wrestler until, like, he's like, oh, and I'm a wrestler. I'm like, what? You? I love Meanie. My favorite part of the podcast so far has been the fact that I have actually become real life friends with him. And so so I'm glad that that's something, we are really happy that that's something that translates. And I think if you've listened for the last 23 weeks, you probably, I definitely didn't bust your balls as much in the beginning because I was, making sure what was safe. And you'll probably get a text from me after this going like, is this okay? Did I, but no, it really has been like a highlight. The highlight for me has been our friendship. So I'm glad that really does translate, that people are able to enjoy it, because it's always fun to hear people yell at each other. But I think it's more fun, especially this day and age, to hear two people actually enjoy joking around and having a good time.
Yeah, dude, why fucking yell? And legit, like we legit talk like almost all day, like through texts and stuff like that. Or if my phone's dying, I go, I'm over here now on the Facebook Instant Messenger. But just that's the goal, just a conversation, just chilling out. I mean, this is the perfect time. I mean, we're home all day, every day.
Yeah.
So, and that's where, I think, we've been able to be, the most creative. And I think our creativity comes through not having a plan.
Yeah.
Like, especially with, the show. Like, I didn't know. And I know I say this every week, but legit, when you say, what's up, man? I'm like, I say whatever comes to mind.
And something that was really cool about that this week, my inability to understand how the mute button works. The Patreon members they basically just heard us chatting beforehand, and they can hear. There was no like, all right, Meanie, I'll say what's up, and then you'll talk about this topic and this topic, and then we'll shift to this. We have no idea, and that's how I like it. You can't have a good, honest conversation if I know exactly, like if I've sat there and wrote out a script and I'm like, Meanie, at this point you'll say this, and then I'll react. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Like, I love the fact that I have no idea what Meanie's going to say and if it's going to lead to something, first of all, it leads to plenty of t-shirts, if nothing else. So, but thank you so much for writing that. That really means so much to us when we see these posts about how, it's like people are saying, like right now, James Sorensen, this is truly one of the best podcasts I've ever listened to. That means the world to us because we really, more so than even if I feel like we were extra creative trying to put something together, because the fact that people are enjoying this so much, I feel like that speaks to us as like the real people, because we're legitimately just sitting here talking and saying whatever the hell. So I'm glad, like I take that like as a personal compliment. It's like the same as if someone like came up to you and just goes like, you're really enjoyable to talk to, like that's like kind of how this feels.
It's good to be engaging, I take pride on the fact that like I could pretty much talk a little bit about anything. Mm-hmm. It's like either stun them with facts or baffle them with bullshit. That's, if I hear little factoids about little certain things, and that sometimes is my gateway into a conversation with somebody who's more well versed on something. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm curious about something, and I know a little bit about it, but I meet somebody who knows more about it, I love to say, hey, well, what about this? Or stuff like that, just, I love learning new shit. Hence why I watch so many documentaries and stuff like that. But it's cool that, people are enjoying the conversation and our cast of characters, that the satellites that float around our universe of the mind of DeMeanie and stuff like that. We have all these cool little things on the side and trying to build a community, not a cult. Yeah. It's definitely not a cult. No. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's like this is the thing I look forward to every week.
Yeah, same here. And again, I'm glad, to see a review like that. Yeah, it means a lot. It's exciting. It makes us feel like, we're doing the right thing, because especially like when we're doing this, like, our question to each other is, I think that was a good show. Was that a good show? I think so. We'll see what everybody says. And so it's really exciting.
Speaking of good shows, I watched the David Arquette documentary.
Oh man, I want to watch that.
For those who do not know, there's a new documentary that came out yesterday called "You Cannot Kill David Arquette," and it's really good. I really enjoyed it. So well done. It's about how David Arquette got into wrestling 20-ish years ago with WCW, and the backlash towards him and how that affected him, and how he kind of wanted to give it one more shot. But do things the right way. And, he went through and got trained with a bunch of different folks, and then made his way back onto the wrestling. And it was a fun journey to watch. The only critique is I wish it was a little bit longer, because there's some things they probably could have dove into a little bit longer. Not by much, but like maybe they could have added like another 20 minutes to it. That's my only critique. But other than that, it was really fun to watch. Me and Mrs. Meanie watched it and enjoyed it. And, I'm a big documentary nerd too. So if you're a fan of, documentaries and wrestling documentaries in general, this is really fun to watch.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to watching it. I never was as offended as other people at him being the world champion in WCW. It was by far not the worst thing going on in WCW television.
Absolutely not.
And I was happy to see the success he ended up having for himself, and then of course, our boy RJ City makes he played a nice role in David Arquette's wrestling experience. So, how much was he featured in that?
RJ's in a good bit. And it shows because we know RJ and David Arquette are friends now, counterparts, everything. I got to see RJ and David Arquette in the ECW arena do a tag match for House of Hardcore, and I knew that much, but like it kind of goes into the beginning of their kinship, partnership, whatever you want to call it. To the fact that like tomorrow I'll go on YouTube and watch RJ City make coffee in his underwear, and David Arquette will come into the chat room and they have banter back and forth. But like this gives the there's a really cool scene, and I don't want to give too much away, but there's like David and RJ City's match for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Shout out to Dave Marquez, who runs a really good ship out there, and he's doing stuff with Billy Corgan and NWA coming in September with his network and stuff like that.
He's a hard-working dude. Been doing.
I don't know where he gets the time to do anything.
No, he's been doing it for a long time.
And, but RJ and David had a match for Dave Marquez's Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and there's a cool behind-the-scenes thing where they're going over the match. And as they're talking about the thing they're going to do in the match, they show them doing the thing in the match.
Oh,
so
that's
there's
cool.
back and forth from the locker room to the match, locker room to the match. And then you do this, and then you see the move and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And there's a cool thing about, David, where he talks about, I've been watching David do the rounds on the interview circuit to promote it. And like he was apprehensive about letting that be seen. Like he went to the promoters, the wrestler, he went to RJ, the referee, everything. He's like, is it okay if I show this in the documentary? They're like, yeah, the curtain's been pulled back.
Yeah, right.
But like Dave comes from Hollywood, and like his whole thing is he wants to be respectful to the wrestling business, which is why I love the man. He loves this business, and dude's a fucking Hollywood actor, and he basically I don't want to give too much away about the documentary, but like his association with wrestling kind of detracted from his acting career in a way. So the guy made the sacrifice. Everybody's like, "Oh, I paid my dues. I made my sacrifices." This guy's kind of made some sacrifices for the wrestling business. Yeah, and I like the guy. I love the guy. He's genuine. He's not some of these turds that you meet out there that you try to get into the business as a stepping stone into something else. Yeah, he's in something else, and he's just doing wrestling because he loves it. So
which is really cool. Because he didn't have to come back and do what he's doing. He could have come back and said, I'm going to train him to do one really great match with a couple really cool spots. And, he and I haven't even seen the documentary, but just from everything I followed with him over the last couple of years, it really seemed like he was like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to earn a positive reputation in professional wrestling. And I think it's so cool that he's been able to do that.
Yeah, there's a really nice bow at the end of this documentary. He didn't. He's got a good life. He didn't have to come to do this. So if you want to watch You Cannot Kill David Arquette, it's on all the streaming services, and not like Netflix, Hulu, but like if you go to Amazon Prime, you can rent it or purchase it. There's a website too. Go to David's social media, and there's a link, and it tells you every single place where you can watch it. But I would say Amazon Prime is the best probably the way to stream it. You can rent it, buy it, and then you go. I watched it on Roku last night. So nice. It's a great documentary. We watched that last night. Had a lot of fun.
One of the fun things about documentary is when you get to know things that you didn't know before, and that's why we have a segment on here called Ask Meanie Anything. Are you ready?
Yes. Beyond ready.
It's time to ask Meanie anything. We were so ready for that it accidentally played earlier in the show. The first one that I want to do here, I think it's just so cool because of where it comes from. This is 505 Zombie MMA. When you do the moonsault, how hard is it to aim at the guy's body when he's on the ground? My name is Coach Sal, and I listen to you from Nicaragua.
Nice.
Which, that was what stood out to me. I was like, what? Like, why? I was like, where? You're listening to us all the way. Like, I'm blown away by the reach of this show. It's so cool.
Nicaragua.
To have people listening to us at places. I've never been there,
No.
And to have people listening to us from places that I've never been is just so cool. And we're so happy to have you as a listener. So yeah, Coach Sal asked that question. How hard is it to aim? We've joked a little bit about how the Sandman could answer that question. But realistically speaking, you always, from what I remember, always hit it really well.
Yeah.
How hard is it to aim, and what kind of goes into that?
First off, it's awesome that my voice is coming out of a device I've never been to, in a country I've never been to, like Nicaragua. So that's pretty cool. There's a secret to the meanie salt, or moon salts in general. If you're an aspiring wrestler, this is some good advice too. There's 2 secrets to the moon salt, and it's all in your hips and where you point your chin. That's it. Now it also depends, there's other mitigating factors like the ring. Is it cable rope? Is it rope?
Which one was easier?
Oh, cables.
Way easier.
It's like a diving board kind of, but I really got good at learning the moonsault into like a swimming pool. Like, I would do it off the ladder. And once I got because you land on water.
Right.
I would do, so when I do the moonsault, I go to the top rope and I make sure like the balls of my feet are on the top rope. And I'm kind of like almost doing like how you stand on your, not like a tippy toe, but like the balls of your feet, kind of like a calf raise.
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing that when I do the meanie salt. And when I go up there, if I go to the top rope, I look through my legs, and that's how I gauge distance wherever it is. Now, if I feel like I have to hit the guy more towards his head, and I also try to keep the guy's head on the same side all the time. So if I pick him up for a slam, for me, his head's got to be on my left. I do the slam, the sack of shit slam, boom. So I know when I do the meanie salt, I'm going to try to aim and hit in the head and chest area. I aim my chin to where I want to go. So if I want to go to the left, tilt my chin to the left. If I need to go a little bit to the right, go a little bit to the right. And then, yes?
What? Oh, wait, what?
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Mind of the meanie, Mrs. Meanie round and Tracy Roots got something to say. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, you're gonna need these. Which way did you point your chin when you broke the Sandman's ribs?
And ladies and gentlemen,
That was a worthwhile run-in. That was amazing.
yeah. And that, in case of point, I didn't set him for the moonsault. Stevie did. So, and that's an important thing too, because you got to. That's the thing. Like, I went to the top rope. I looked between my legs. I went, "Oh shit!" I was like, and I'm trying to do the signal where like, move him closer. Bring him closer. And of course, Stevie didn't see it, but and I'm not putting blame on him. But and again, you can't come down and reset him because that kills momentum. But like. And with that, I saw he was out a little bit farther. And I tried to change, like push off and do a little bit more of a outwards meanie salt to where like, I try to get a little bit of distance. But if he's in a little bit closer, I know I could jump pretty much straight up and then tilt my head back. You tilt your head back and you pop your hips. Your hips give you the momentum to carry you over into the moonsault. And if I know I'm going to hit a moonsault, I know to brace my forearms and my knees, so I make like a table so I don't totally kill the guy. Mm-hmm. If I know I'm going to miss, then I just, hands next to the face, turn my head, and I just pancake out, stuff like that. But for the meanie salt, it's just secret. I sound like the golf instructor in the Adam Sandler movie. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Yeah, seriously, it's all in the hips, all in the chin where you point your chin. That's why when you see like a Terry Funk or a Vader do like the like twisty moons, or Bigelow do the twisty moonsaults.
Cats land on their feet.
Yeah, exactly. The secret to, Al Snow taught me the reason why a cat always lands on his feet is because where he points his chin.
Interesting.
You throw a cat up in the air, which I try not to do.
Yeah. Don't recommend it.
Yeah, but he always lands on his feet because he, points his chin and lands. Same with the moonsault. So Bigelow and all the big guys always did that like twisty moonsault because they were. I'm not putting thoughts in their head, but I don't think they were confident enough to just go straight,
right,
straight back, and stuff like that.
Interesting. Well, thank you for that question.
Great question. Great question.
We have James Sorensen has a question for us.
Hello, James.
And we'll see if we can just drag it into the. Looks like it's. There we go. He says, "I'm sorry for piping in too much." What?
Yeah.
I apologize for that. I'm very passionate about wrestling.
You paid for the right. You paid for the right to pipe in.
You paid for the right to do this. Anybody else wants to jump in, they can pay for the right too. Yeah. I'm very passionate about wrestling. I'm also passionate about helping others in any way I can. So has there ever been a fan that you were taken back about and kind of thought, wow, I'm making a positive impact in their life?
Oh my God. I can't say one specific fan, but a lot of times I get feedback from people who grew up asthmatic as well. Mm-hmm. And they tell me that, there's people who grew up asthmatic, overweight and stuff like that. When they tell them that they look at me and they have a glimmer of hope that they can possibly do something. And I feel so stupid saying it, like, like I'm Tony Robbins or I'm like this inspirational figure, which I'm just a dude, right? Mm-hmm. But I overcame some odds growing up, and a lot of people didn't think I was going. I wasn't supposed to make it this far. At best make it to the Indies. ECW should have been my crowning achievement, but I made it to the WWE. Fortunately. So anything, and growing up asthmatic, growing up heavy set, growing up battling depression, I still have like, a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety issues, but that's just thinking. I'll think of something. I did something in like third grade and I go, oh, I'm so stupid, stupid shit like that, But like, I'll get somebody who reaches out to me or whichever form of social media and say, hey, I grew up asthmatic. Just like you, I hear you talk about all the things you went through. I went through them too. And thank you for speaking out about it. There's so many different things people speak out about. And people have their own issues that they deal with, and they're all equally as hard. Mine just happens to be asthma and, overcome everything that asthma caused me with, like I said, depression, anxiety, all that stuff, and just being socially awkward. But thank God for pro wrestling, because pro wrestling allowed me to come out of my shell. In high school, you would have to do like a presentation in front of the class for English class or something like that. I would just be shaking. Like I would hold up my hands to like show something, and my hand would be like trembling, But, once I got into wrestling, it built this confidence into me that, if I got anything out of wrestling, I got a form of self-esteem and confidence to talk to large groups of people and perform in front of large groups of people where, in high school I was a little bit of a ham too. Like I could be funny and all that stuff, but like when it came to being serious, right. I would get the heebie-jeebies and just be, shaky and all that stuff. But as far as like, get back to the question, anybody who reaches out to me who grew up asthmatic and stuff like that really, makes everything I did worth it. Sometimes you go, oh, did I do anything? Did I make it? And stuff like that. I think of things I could have done better. There's always things you could have done better or differently. Yeah. But, when people reach out about that stuff and they say it helps them with their issue, that means the world to me.
Anthony Camarada asks, In Hornswoggle's book, he talks about Tommy Dreamer's game Tommy Ball, where people tossed a tennis ball at Tommy's balls. Was this a game played in the ECW locker room as well?
No, I don't remember that game. I think that was created in WWE, the Tommy Ball game.
Nice.
We played the wrestler name game.
What was that?
What's that?
What was that?
Oh, one person, person starts off, they say a wrestler's name, and the last letter of the person's name has to be the first letter of the next person you got to say. So if I say Jake the Snake Roberts, that ends with S. I could say Superfly Jimmy Snuka, that ends with A. The next person would say Austin Idol. And then as soon as somebody, says X-Pac or something, X always, fucked up the flow of the game. But
right.
It got to the point, and you can't use the same name twice. But you can say, you can't say the same name twice, but if a guy had multiple names, you can mention the guy still, you can still use that wrestler as a reference if, because X-Pac had X-Pac, Six-Pac, Lightning Kid, whatever. It's like 10 Faces of Foley. But yeah, that Mrs. Meanie got to play that game. We did a what's that?
No, I didn't play.
Oh, hold on. Here's another run-in. Hold on.
So I was like, I don't know, I guess too shy to play. I figured I wasn't going to be able to think of people, and they're playing and I'm thinking of everybody. And then I was making up names, so I'd be like John Johnston or the Dick Kicker. And I'm like, I better stop doing that before I actually say an actual real name. So no, I didn't play, but I watched everybody play.
Okay.
Dreamer's the king, man.
Yeah. We did a show in Wisconsin for my buddy Julian. And my buddy and Julian and Riley, they had a show in Wisconsin called Freedom Pro Wrestling. And they wanted to book me that weekend. I was like, shit, that's Tracy's birthday. So I used some mileage and, flew Tracy out, and she came along. And the cool thing, hold on. Here we go.
I had the best birthday that an 8-year-old boy could ask for. Hanging out with wrestlers all weekend? Come on, happy birthday.
It was pretty cool. They got her a birthday cake at the hotel, and we all sang happy birthday to her. And, was that the weekend Kevin? Yeah, Kevin Nash was there, and everybody sang happy birthday to her, and she had cake. And, here we go.
And the Blue Meanie fell asleep at the bar, and Kevin Nash came in, and I was like, Brian, you're embarrassing me in front of Kevin Nash. Which is absolutely not true. I was being funny by saying that because I really don't care about Kevin Nash. I mean, that's not nice. I do. I mean, hooray, Kevin Nash and everything, but I don't care what he does
shoots
in
on
front of
Kevin Nash.
No, she, that was after my 40th kamikaze, by the way. They just brought out a tray of kamikazes. Shout out to Justin Wang, who mentioned this from the YouTube channel. Wang, oh my God, Justin Wang. He's got a channel where he talks about internet folklore and stuff like that, like the most mysterious song on the internet or just different topics. But he has a page, Justin Wang Uncut, and he talks about the trip because he was there. He was in a band called The World We Knew, and they had Tommy Dreamer in one of their videos and stuff like that. Real heavy band. And Tommy invited him over, and it's Tracy's birthday. We're in Wisconsin, middle Wisconsin, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I want to say it looks like some place John Cougar would have filmed a fucking video. Yeah, they were there, and he tells the story about how he just saw me. We had an open bar, Thank you, Julian, and I would just, instead of getting a glass, I just had a pitcher of beer. I was just drinking straight from the pitcher, and then Julian was a big fan of kamikaze, so they brought out a tray kamikazes, and we had a kamikaze off.
Wow!
So that's what put me down was the kamikazes. If I would have stuck to the beer, I would have been a champ. And the next day we're at the it was after night one of the first shows, and me and Tracy, I think we're at the merch table, and Kevin Nash comes over and points to me and goes, "You." the fact that I passed it, I fell asleep and stuff like that. So I couldn't hang, because Kevin, came out later and he likes his wine, so he had a bottle of wine, and I'm just trying to like, hey Kevin. Well, she's like, Blue Meanie, you're embarrassing me in front of Kevin Nash. But awesome. I don't even know what spurned that.
Well, it's what you guys played. You didn't play the Tommy Ball.
Oh, the wrestler name game. Yeah, name game. We didn't play Tommy Ball.
But you know what? Some people do play baseball, and we have a new shirt coming out, Inside Baseball. It was just sent over.
That's amazing.
I can't see it there.
That's great.
Did you see the little Meanie baseball?
That's got to be on a 3/4 sleeve shirt.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll do that. Well, it'll be a regular T-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com and a 3/4 baseball shirt over at our Patreon. How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic. Great work, Slichter.
Oh, man.
Slichter. I'm sorry.
Knocked this out of the baseball park. No, great stuff. I want that on a hat. I feel like...
Dude, the hats over there are really good, man.
Yeah.
That stuff's like embroidered.
I feel like I also feel like I want him to maybe send over that with the inside in white, not just blue, so we can do it on multiple colored shirts.
Yeah, options.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's good to have options.
Yeah, we like options. But no, you did an amazing job. Last question here. Also comes from Anthony Camarada. Who would win in a fight, the Blue Meanie or the Green Bastard from Trailer Park Boys?
Dude, seriously, I want to tag team with the Green Bastard. I don't know who would win a fight. I think Leahy would come in and throw in some screwball stipulations, and probably he might throw it in my favor because he's always trying to fuck over Julian and Bubbles and Ricky. So I might win if the Blue Meanie went to wrestle the Green Bastard, I would give Leahy a bottle of hooch, and he would come in and throw the match in my favor, and I would win.
Oh man,
because he was the main. He was the Mr. McMahon character. He would be the Mr. McMahon of the Trailer Park Boys Wrestling Federation. And I think that would happen. The Blue Meanie came close to Meanie. Well, the Trailer Park Boys would come to the Philly area, whether it's the Tower Theater in Upper Darby or whatever. And the last time they came through with the Christmas show, they were like, "Oh, we need a big guy in the crowd." And I just stood up and went like this. Yeah, I put my arms out like, "What's up, man?" And Leahy, Randy, the shirtless Randy pointed at me and said, "Come on up." I went, "All right." So I went up, and I was on stage with the Trailer Park Boys and a bunch of other big shirtless guys, which is weird. I was the one wearing a shirt, but they were trying to do they're doing some like improv with us and stuff like that. I was like, well, fuck this. I'm going to kind of steal the show. So I do this trick where I can make my pants fall at will. Like this. I could just do this thing and my pants fall around my ankles, right? So I'm on stage and they go, let's hear for the Blue Meanie. And I raise my hands like, yay. And I make my pants fall. The crowd fucking pops, right? And I do the thing like I acted like I was supposed to do that. I turn around and there's top of my ass crack, and I pull my pants and I'm spinning around like a cartoon character trying to pull up my pants. I look over and Ricky's fucking got tears coming out of his eyes, and Bubbles goes, "Oh, what was that all about?" And I was like, "That's my pants can fall. My pants can fall at will." And he goes, "Your pants can fall at will." I was like, "Yes, my pants can." He's like, "So if I acted like a cop and I just went, stick 'em up," I put my hands up and my pants fell again. And the crowd popped even harder. And I just did like a little meanie dance and did all that stuff. So they picked me. There's video of it out there somewhere. There's photos of it out there somewhere. Because my buddy Fredward, the tattoo artist, was in the crowd watching. So he had his camera ready. Donnie and Bev we went with Donnie and Bev recorded it.
Oh, I gotta see.
So she said, "I'll send it to you. We could put it up on a
Patreon.
Yeah." And I got to be Santa Claus. There's Santa Claus for that show, where I had to tell Ricky's child that he was a good guy or whatever, something like that. So I forget exactly what it was about, but I got to be on stage with the Trailer Park Boys, and later on, they figured out who I was, and I go in the back, and they're like, you got a bit of a following. I was like, oh yeah, kind of, They were surprised they're usually just bringing guys up and shit happens, but I came up and there's people who recognized me. So I got like a reaction. They're just like, oh, I guess we got to pick this fucking guy.
Yeah, right.
And Ricky was like, oh, you got a little bit of a following, huh? I was like, yeah, well, So they gave me the Santa suit, and I'm just hanging out, and they come back, and they're like, oh, that's a good reaction, and all this shit. And I was like, well, I'm kind of got experience being in front of people. I was trying not to be a dick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, I love you guys. Blah, blah, blah. And we took a photo together and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
They brought me out, and we just did a little bit of improv and did some stuff to, get some pops and stuff like that. But, it would have been great if it was the Blue. I don't want to show up to the show dressed as the Blue Meanie, because he does the Green Bastard during the show too. So that would have been funny. But I want to definitely do something. I kind of want to do Blue Meanie versus Green Bastard. I mean, because we both have colors in our names, and then the second part of our names means something.
Meanie Bastard. Yeah.
Meanie Bastard. Mean Bastard. We could be the Mean Bastards.
Oh, there you go. The tag team.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I think that's hilarious.
I love the trailer. We love the Trailer Park Boys, by the way. It was to the point where we knew about it and we saw clips of it, and then like me and Mrs. Meanie would take turns buying a season. This is before it was on Netflix. Mm-hmm. That because we had to order it like as almost like an import. So I don't know which one. I would do season 1, she'd do season 2, blah blah blah, and then they would have the Christmas special. We get the Christmas special, which came with a little finger puppet. And then eventually they got signed to Netflix. So everything's on Netflix now. And then they start making new seasons on Netflix. Mm-hmm. And there was a story they were almost, in their heyday, they almost got signed to be on Comedy Central, And then the whole thing with Janet Jackson's titty at the Super Bowl happened. And there's so much gunplay on the show that Comedy Central was like, we can't have that right now. And they got canceled all, those talks got cut off, but now that going to Netflix, watch the Trailer Park Boys and all that stuff, and there's definitely a wrestling influence because several times Bubba goes to hit somebody with their guitar and goes, "Oh fucking honky tonk yeah, honky tonk man yeah," or something like that or whatever. But awesome. That's definitely got to happen someday, some way, somehow. Yeah, Blue Meanie, Green Bastard,
book it.
Somebody right after Orange versus Blue.
Right after Orange versus Blue, which reminds me that somebody on here said a little while ago. Let's see. Oh, it was James Sorensen just tweeted Orange versus Blue to Conrad and Eric, and they're recording currently. Hope they mention on their podcast.
Probably Eric won't. I think Eric hates me.
Does he really? Why?
I don't know. You're just around people, you get the feeling that
I did an interview with them at the last Starcast. It's the first time I ever met him. So I guess maybe I'm a little nervous or tired or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. So I start by going, "Hey, we're here. We have, great Eric Bischoff. Really weren't expecting, to have you here." He's like, "I wasn't expecting to be here," because he had just gotten fired. I was like, we're off to a good start. And then I said something about 82 weeks. And he's like, "Did you say 82 weeks?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Did I?" I'm like, 83 weeks. He's like, "Yeah, you said 82 weeks." I'm like, "Well, you know what? I was out of town one of those weeks." So, but I was like, man, I was like, this is falling apart. This is not going well. But he was super cool to me and really, he was very nice about it. But you get the vibe that he doesn't like you?
I don't know.
Has he ever even met, what kind of interaction have you guys ever really had?
Me and Stevie took a photo with him as like a wink wink. But just did a show in Nashville one year for Julian Riley, Freedom Pro. He was on there. I don't know. I'm not saying he hates me. I just, you just get a vibe.
Yeah. Some people click, some people don't, you know?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I've heard great things about him, stuff like that. I'm not talking shit about him. I'm just saying, I don't think he likes me.
Headline, Blue Meanie talks shit about Eric Bischoff. Mrs. Meanie buries Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
The BWO NWO feud is alive and well.
Yes. In 2020.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, that is it for Ask Meanie Anything, and that's just about it for Mind of the Meanie. I feel like this is a short episode for us. We've only gone 2.5 hours.
Hey, man. What the fuck's wrong with us? We feeling okay?
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, no, man. Like I said, I really enjoyed the David Arquette documentary. Check that out. We watched another great documentary on Action Park called Class Action Park, about one of the probably the most dangerous theme parks in the fucking world that happened right in New Jersey there.
Yeah.
I think that's on HBO Max. Check that out. I don't even want to go into detail about that, but it's more the documentary was more painful. And we were listening, we're like, oh my God. And they said one thing during the documentary, and then this happened. I gave the screen the finger. I was like, oh, fuck you. And I was just like, oh, man. So many fucking injuries and deaths happened in that fucking park. It was insane. But, this is a great episode. A lot of fun, a lot of stories, a lot of flashbacks, a lot of good Ask Meanie Anythings. If I can give a Meanie pro tip for Ask Meanie Anything when it comes to asking the question, please don't tag me in the question because I want to come into Ask Me Anything totally blind and I don't want to know what I'm about to be asked.
And also, I saw some of them use the hashtag AMA, and I tried to grab those up as quickly as I could, like a screenshot, so we had them. It has to be hashtag Ask Meanie, because otherwise, hashtag AMA, that is going to get way lost when we go to collect them. That's way too many people use AMA.
That's like watching your car keys fall in a fucking volcano. They're gone. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's long gone. Do that. Also, I just want to say to our Patreon members, we have done our, we'll double check, make sure we're good to go for our calls for the month. Please update your phone numbers.
Give us your phone number. If you haven't sent us your phone number, you have to, and we'll comb through and make sure we got all of them. Also, a lot of you are on. You're about to get charged for the first time on September 1st, and that is when it kind of gives us access to reach out and do things. That's officially when you're technically officially considered a part of it by Patreon. So just as a heads up. So if we haven't seen certain things or whatever, but there are a lot of calls that we didn't get a chance to make because when we went down the list, people did not have their phone numbers. So yeah, definitely do that. Definitely get your phone numbers in there, get your addresses in there, because we also have plenty of Mind of the Meanie membership cards that have been sent out, and plenty that have not yet been sent out because we don't have your address. And you can we made sure there was a little issue on our end, but that has been fixed. You can go into your profile, add your mailing address, and then click a little thing that says that you want Mind of the Meanie to have access to it. That is the easiest thing for us. We're able to just download a list of everybody that's on there, and we are very grateful for the fact that it is a very long list. So it's very helpful to us if you can put your address in as opposed to just grabbing it out of an email. So even if you send it in an email, make sure that you put it in there. I do want to say before we go, I don't want to end things in a negative way or in a sad way, but the wrestling world lost Bullet Bob Armstrong. Yeah. Want to send our condolences to his entire family. And then just in general, I mean, obviously it's a big, I don't mean to brush past that at all. Huge loss to the wrestling world.
Absolutely.
And then, last night I read about Chadwick Boseman. I hope I'm saying his name right. The actor who played the Black Panther, that he passed away. And I just wanted to say, that's kind of, we talk about all the positive things, and different people's struggles and all. And it just kind of like struck me. This is a man who for 4 years was battling I believe stage 3, and then became stage 4 colon cancer.
Right.
Battling that throughout all of these amazing films that he put together. And I just, man, you talk about strength. I've been retweeting some of the things about it because I guess it just, I don't know, it's just like kind of like struck me that he kept all of this private and managed to create these films that were life-changing for so many people, for so many, especially young African Americans.
Yeah.
It's really it's a sad loss.
And one of the real heartbreaking things is he also played Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, and then passed.
And he passed on Jackie Robinson Day. That MLB usually celebrates Jackie Robinson Day in April, but because of everything with the COVID, Jackie Robinson Day got pushed to last night.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he died on Jackie Robinson Day, but the fact that the announcement came out on Jackie Robinson Day made it hit a little bit extra hard.
Yeah.
And the fact that it took so many people by surprise, and my Twitter feed was flooded with love, and people loved him. He did great stuff. And you see the inspiration cross over to wrestling and wrestling personalities and stuff like that. Affected a lot of people. And same with Bullet Bob Armstrong. I was very fortunate to meet Bullet Bob. And you talk about regrets. I did a show in Florida. It was like a tribute to the 601, the tribute to WCW Saturday Night. They had all the legends and stuff like that. The reason why I was on the show, I did a little feud with the local disc jockey down there, and it was like a dark match for it after the show went off the air. So I wrestled a local DJ, which helped boost the crowd. But one of my regrets was almost all the Armstrongs were there, and I was just sitting in the lobby, just sitting and bullshit with them. I wish I would have been a perfect time to just, besides talking to them, listen to them tell such great stories, snap a little photo. Yeah. Just to be with that iconic wrestling family that doesn't.
And such a tough thing, because you don't want to sit there and just be, hey guys, can I get a picture with you? It's such a tough thing, but I wish more people would do that. I know there aren't a lot of people out there who want to take a picture with me, but I will say I will never be offended. It's especially if someone wants to take a picture of me. But it's one of those things. I say go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
In an appropriate time, not while they're sitting and eating dinner with their family at a restaurant or rushing to catch a connecting flight. But yeah, I think there's so many people who. It
was just a thing. We're sitting there bullshitting in the lobby. Brad Armstrong was there. He's like, I always drink sugar-free Red Bulls because I get the high, but I don't get the sugar crash. I get the shit. And he gave me this whole theory why he drinks sugar-free Red Bull. So anytime I get a Red Bull, I think of Brad Armstrong, because he gave me the whole thing like, you drink regular Red Bull, you get that sugar crash. I drink sugar-free Red Bull, so I don't get that sugar crash. Something like that. But the way he said it was so entertaining that, like, every now and then I'll have a Red Bull and I think of Brad Armstrong. But, Bullet Bob, man, wrestling since the 60s. And still doing it all the way through his passing and stuff like that. So,
but just
guy. There's a great wrestling documentary called Kentucky Fried Wrestling. If you Google it, I think they gave it another name, and I think they put it on Amazon Prime. And Bullet Bob's in that, and it's like this documentary about Southern wrestling, or this one show revolved around this one show. And Bullet Bob's there, but he's still kind of keeping kayfabe behind the scenes, talking about the psychology of how he got hurt in the match. And he's talking to Bambi, the female wrestler, and they're going back and forth about their matches. But it's done documentary style, but you could tell he's still kayfabing. So if you get a chance, watch. If you want to, check out some Bullet Bob, go to Amazon Prime, or find out the documentary Kentucky Fried Wrestling. And it's about this one show. Iron Sheik's on it, Bullet Bob's on there, Bambi's on there. It's a fun watch. So.
And I just, I know it's been we just wanted to give our shout out and send our best wishes to the family, though, to the kids there, because, Bullet Bob lost his wife just a month or so, last couple of months, right after they celebrated a milestone anniversary. I remember seeing all these things. I remember Road Dogg posting these things, Scott Armstrong posting this stuff. And so I just, it's never an easy thing. So we just wanted to, our thoughts with them, and Pod Squad send our thoughts out to them.
My heart goes out to everybody.
But we had an awesome show here today. This was a lot of fun. I'm so glad that we had as many of our Patreon members here with us, watching this live with us. I think this is the most that we've ever had, being able to watch it live. It was great to have you all on here. And we're having so much fun. So if you're not on our Patreon, we're not offended. We understand. But I think you would really enjoy it. So, you've got that 1 month commitment. That's it, $5. So save yourself a Starbucks drink and come check it out. See what you think. I don't think you're going to want to leave, because we are having so much damn fun over here.
Absolutely.
And again, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, this is the go home show for alternative commentary. So make sure that you join us. You definitely make sure that you join us for alternative commentary on September 5th for AEW All Out. Meanie and I will be on Fight TV live at 8:00 doing that. We are so excited for that because we had such an awesome time with the SummerSlam episode. But yeah, Meanie, anything else you wanna say, or we're gonna take it home?
Thank you everybody for joining us live. Thank you everybody who dedicate your Mondays to listening to us. I get so many messages, people saying, "Hey man, you made my work day a little bit easier." Like I said, our Patreon folks are saying, they just listen to us on their car rides or when they're laying in bed. So
yep,
thank you so much. It means a lot. There's so much content out there. Thank you for choosing ours.
And make sure to follow us on social media at Mind of the Meanie across all platforms. That's Facebook, that's Twitter, that's Instagram, of course, youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Check out the new Mrs. Meanie bonus clip there. Meanie Toons, so much great content over there and more to come. So help spread the word. That's the best thing, and we appreciate it so much. Spread the word about the pod. Spread the word about the YouTube. And while you're at it, why don't you follow us as individuals? Meanie can be found on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Blue Meanie BWO. I'm at So Says Shernoff on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to check out mindofthemeanie.com and all of our great merchandise over at ProWrestlingTees.com/mindofthemeanie, including our brand new pins, limited supply. So go and get them now. You're not going to miss out. You're not going to want to miss out on this. And then, of course, we've got ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie and /So Says Shernoff and the Collar and Elbow brand. Use the promo code Meanie and go to Homage. Follow the link, find it, it's pinned. For the Blue Meanie, I'm Josh Shernoff. Join us again next Monday for another trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW radio never stops.